This host has been accused of hate speech more times than he has said I love you. It's Krasner.
That's not true. Okay. Hey, everybody. I haven't been accused of hate speech. I accuse myself. I'm always so worried someone's going to get mad about stuff, and they just never do. So, I don't know. But, okay.
Been accused of hate speech.
That's...
Okay.
Except that one time.
This host's tears have anti-aging properties, which his mother confessed kept her young for many years. It's exposure.
Hi?
Special exfoliating. All right.
My tears?
Perfect. Your tears.
You know what?
Battle aging.
That's why my mother looks so old then. Because I never cried in front of her. So just like bottle up my tears, but hi.
Yeah, sorry, you said there was like intro things, but I just was like, oh no, this is the part in the song where if I miss it,
I know.
Oh.
Yeah, no, I know. You just we're not used to it. It's a brand new thing.
New stuff.
So it's just kind of like, oh shit, we fucked up. Here we go. Sort of thing. But
hey everybody, welcome to Hitbox, the new corner on the block of the internet. Yeah, we're gonna talk about media stuff. That's what we do. Media matters. That's our slogan. It actually is.
It is. It's on business cards and everything.
Although I was actually at a taco place yesterday, and it had one of those things where it's like, hey, throw your business card in here, and you could win like a dinner. But I was like, oh, for 10 people, like, where there's 2 of us. Like, even if we invite our ladies, it's 4. Like, we need to, like, bolster our ranks, or, I don't know, look weird.
We could, like, invite Sean, John, like, we could invite a whole bunch of people, like, I guess.
All our affiliates and associates and everything, and it's like, yeah, the whole company's here. Calvin's here. Like, just guests that are local.
Calvin?
Yeah.
Vico and Mike. Why not?
I guess I do kind of want to, like, I generally enjoyed the burrito I had, but they did this weird thing that I guess I just didn't know was a thing. They drenched it.
Yeah.
Like, it was like,
okay,
hey, here's a burrito in like a pan, and then we pour stuff on it and put more cheese on it, and it's like a burrito salad, essentially. You're supposed to eat it with like a fork and knife. And I was like, not aware of this as a thing. So like, everything's going fine. He's preparing the burrito, putting good stuff in it that I'm getting excited about. And then he just takes a ladle and goes, and I'm like, oh, okay, that's not what I wanted, but okay, I guess
we got to think of a new hashtag then. If burritos are now going to be the official sponsor of the podcast, since poutine is out. Thanks, Big Cheese.
Yeah, I still want to go back there. Brittany hasn't had any of that poutine yet, but I don't know. I guess they kind of snubbed us. That's kind of too bad.
What's a slogan we should start using for burritos? We'd think it'd be neato if you had a burrito.
Like, even longer hashtag? Like, how many...
Is that longer?
Is that? Let me type it out. I'm pretty sure that is, like, totally unfeasible.
It's just...
It would be neato if you had... burrito.
How many characters? That's like the that's like the whole tweet.
Actually, I was like near I work at a bookstore. This has been established. There's a coffee shop inside it. There was like a business meeting happening just in
Starbucks, right?
Yeah, there's a Starbucks in everywhere, so that's not too specific. And like,
we've said before what your company is, but sorry, go on. Yes.
No, I guess so. Yeah, they were having like serious conversation about hashtags, and I was just like, "This is so weird. Like, I don't like this. I don't like that this has happened.
I need to get the cliff notes.
Suits are talking about hashtags. Like, that's weird to me. So I don't know. That's it. Like, I'm afraid of the future. I guess that's what I learned. Just kind of killing time, wandering around as I do. Anyway, okay, burritos, sidetracking, whatever. I don't know. Did you have any noteworthy food this week? Let's keep it topical.
With
what was
food?
The most interesting thing you ate in the last 7 days?
Oh, interesting.
Or just like, oh, I haven't been to this place, or like, oh, I ordered a new thing on the menu, or I made this and I haven't in a while. You know, anything like that.
Doesn't happen.
All staples this past week?
Tonight, I guess. Tonight we had meatloaf. I like meatloaf.
Do you guys like
homemade meatloaf
on it in the oven, or no? None of that.
No, I usually do it after.
Oh, okay, but like that
after it's been made, sort of thing.
Sure. So just a loaf of meat. Put some. Do you make the sandwiches? Do you do that ever? Like kind of the low rent burger. I love doing that.
No, I don't. I usually just eat it. I eat it with a fork and knife. So.
Breadcrumbs, cheese, same thing. No.
No, just ketchup.
Okay.
Very plain and standard.
Okay. Meatloaf, America's favorite. Mashed potatoes alongside that.
We're not American.
You can buy that. I'm just saying it sounds American to me.
We can't do more hashtags.
No, I'm not. I'm not suggesting like.
Okay, I'm just trying to think of.
It's like, don't be an oaf, have some meatloaf, something like that. You know,
I was thinking specifically for Applebee's.
We're trying to do like Bat Out of Hell, something. You know that dude, Meatloaf. Try to tie it together.
Meatloaf, yeah.
Yeah.
He was in Fight Club.
He was in Fight Club. Now it's kind of like bitch tits, get your grits. Yeah, I don't know. Something terrible. Sorry, they said
bitch tits, get your grits.
That's right. The Fight Club references just sound like me saying horrible things, so never mind. It's all David Fincher's fault. And Chuck Palahniuk.
There you go in the chat, Foxy. Hashtag Applebee mine.
Done. Foxy.
This is pretty good. Yeah. So that is
that's
our new
food
sponsor. Congratulations, Applebee's, for jumping on board. We hope you like
Bubsy 3D available now on the internet.
Yeah, we hope you like the train crash ride that we're going on together. Anyways, so that's not I guess we talk about that sometimes. Food.
Yeah, hey, food. I just, that was a thing I did. I was like,
but you were talking about a burrito. There's nothing new about a burrito.
No, but it's near me. There's like a place that makes reasonable quality burritos. Like they're not all drenched. Like this was kind of my mistake because I ordered the raspberry chicken, which is one of the deluxe ones. So they drench it for free, which is not what I wanted to happen, as it turns out. But whatever. I will go there again because it's like, hey man, this is like the guacamole, the sour cream, the various beans and cheeses and all the stuff I want.
I don't like beans.
You don't like the refried beans on there? Just like thick, pasty.
I don't like
starch.
any.
Okay.
It doesn't matter. Except like green beans, I guess.
I guess.
No,
which one?
I know. I'm just saying in general. Like green beans, like the veggie.
Yeah.
Sort of thing.
Not like
those are okay.
Style, but just legumes.
I'm just trying to think what else.
Yeah. It's just I was just excited there was
Nathan's meatloaf locker.
Yep. Don't keep meatloaf in a locker for any extended length of time. It's a bad idea. Just saying.
If you're hurting, come get our meat curtains.
What?
Sorry. Just thinking of gross stuff.
All right. Let's move away from food, I guess, then. It's too gross. Can we just jump right into some video games? Because I played a lot of video games this week, as I do sometimes.
You do sometimes do that, so let's go ahead. The big one. The biggest one you played this week. We both know which one it is. Go.
I played that new Metal Gear that just came out.
Yes, you did. And I have been meaning to install it, but I don't have space. I need to find what I can delete, because I need that and Final Fantasy X HD. Because I want to play it again.
Like just PlayStation?
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. No, man, having that like 500 gig laptop hard drive in there is the best, because it's just like, I don't even need to worry about this. Like today I spent like half an hour just downloading a bunch of themes and like avatars and crap, because I'm just like, I'm entitled to these, and I'm bored of, what was it? Ibn Ob was my background for a long time. I'm just like, this is boring. I'm going to change it. And I changed it to Sonic, and that was obnoxious because it was like ring sounds whenever you move anything.
That's terrible.
Like,
no.
Cling, cling, cling. And I was like, this is not good. So I was like, what else do I have? So now I don't what did I change it to? I think it's just like some weird robot. It's just a robot in the background. It's like, okay, there's a robot in a locker in the background, and he just lives there.
And to be clear, neither of us have a PS4 yet. So the version you are playing is a PS3.
Yeah, I did claim yet another free PlayStation Plus PS4 game today, so my library is up to 3. So eventually it'll make sense. I forget, it's some zombie game though, or something. I wasn't like super keen on it, but it's like Dead Nation. Is that a game?
Yeah, it's not good.
Okay, great. Well, I own it now, so sort of, I guess, if I subscribe.
On PS3?
On PS4. That's a game I claimed on the website.
Gotcha.
Every now
because I have it on PS3. I bought it when it came out like an idiot. So yeah,
maybe
I actually just
How long?
No, it's not. It's
it's pretty recent.
No, 2000 something. 2000 maybe it's 9 or 8.
No, yeah, it's got to be a different game.
Okay.
Let me just
You sure?
Well, I mean, why would they give it's like, hey, we made a HD or plus version for PS4? Like, who would do that? Oh no, dude, it's Dead Nation Apocalypse Edition. So yeah, it is. Wow, that's crappy.
Apocalypse Edition, fantastic. So
yeah,
you got it for free. Who gives a shit?
I got it for free. So whatever. I'm not gonna complain too much. But yeah, no, whatever. So yes, having tons of hard drive space is great. I got that new Metal Gear game, and man, so I guess kind of a lot to get into about it, but I'm not sure where to kind of really begin. Is there anything you're curious about, having not played it yet, that you want to know? Or
me personally?
Yeah.
I mean, I don't care if you talk about it, but no.
Okay.
Because I plan on playing it. So I don't care if you do like talk about stuff, though.
Mm-hmm. I guess the thing that
there's just nothing specific.
Stands out right away is just sorry, I had to adjust that. It looked fuzzy to me, and it's probably the video. Kiefer Sutherland. I don't know why they did that. Like, it just bothers me, and that's like the most petty thing. But having now actually played it and heard it, I am just like confused now. Like, it's just like, why did you feel you needed to recast him? Like, he kind of obviously doesn't care as much. Like, there's not a lot of passion in the performance. There's not a like, specifically the moment that made that clear to me is like a lot of video game voice acting is kind of like grunting and yelling and doing that kind of shit because like your character. Yeah. So like. The surgery scenes in 3, you get some good David Hayter going like, ah, and just like really painful grunts and oohs and ahs and whatever.
I'm always reminded of the torture scene in Metal Gear Solid 1 where you're just like, ah, and it's just like looping the same sound over and over.
Yeah, like you need to kind of give it in those yelling moments to sell it. And the only point where there's like a lot of like a yell that just really was like cringy bad was when you're really hurt, you need to use first aid spray. And he kind of does this like whipping his head and goes, oh, but it's so weak. Like, it's just like, this is not good.
Do your best impression of it right now.
I just did. It is that bad. Like, it's
really?
Not, yeah, I don't. Well, yeah, it's not loud enough. And like the animation of it is just kind of him twisting his head, and it just looks really bad. Like, it's, I don't know, that specific moment. Yeah, it's that, and I don't know. That was kind of a bad moment for me. But generally speaking, like the way the game kind of just is generally is like big open area. And they kind of just come up with a bunch of little missions for you to do. Like the core mission, everyone's saying like, man, this game's like less than an hour long. This is bullshit. And it's like, I have, like that's sort of true in that you press start on the default thing. You will see credits roll within an hour probably if you're remotely, like you're just kind of playing through it, like just kind of going for it. You will probably beat that in within an hour. But
really?
They roll but they roll the credits like after every mission in that game, and there's like more missions. So like I don't really know why that's kind of being looked at like, oh man, this is bullshit. This is so short. It's like once you beat that mission, you have completed 10% of the content in the game. So I don't feel like I have been too ripped off. But I guess also I'm a person who bought Metal Gear VR missions and felt okay about that. So I'm kind of in this like category of just like
VR missions was fun.
Yeah, so if you like VR missions, this kind of just gives you more reasons to kind of like there's different mission types to kind of just go and do stuff. Like so like it's all in the same camp though. Like there's one main environment everything takes place in, but they come up with like kind of radically different stuff for you to do that seems to be kind of almost just showcasing the new features in the Fox engine or whatever. So for example, like this was kind of a thing I forgot to mention on Top Down yesterday because I was just kind of like just having played it and everything. Like every face of all the soldiers in the game is like unique. Like they don't wear ski masks anymore. And they actually make that part of the mission design. And that like one of the missions I was doing was like, okay, one of the guards in this camp is an undercover operative. You need to contact him and find like get this tape off of him. Like this with this intel or whatever. And it's like, okay, so you having to use your like binoculars to like zoom in on dudes to kind of ID them. And like another one was there's two like former legendary assassins that are like hiding out in this black site camp. You need to go in there and kill them. So it's like again, you're looking for like specific guys. And because because the engine is like, hey, guys have unique faces, like they look different. You're actually like supposed to kind of sneak up on around near people and kind of look at them and like just kind of you can go in guns blazing and stuff, but if you do that, like all those people you're trying to like, like for example, in the assassination mission, if you raise the alarm, they will get in a Jeep and start to book it. So then you have like a very small window of time to like either find that Jeep and blow it up or you fail. So I don't know, like they're kind of coming up with a lot of different ways to like kind of showcase that technology, I guess. But then there's other missions, like one of them was just, there's a helicopter assault on the base right now. You were in a helicopter with infinite ammo, just blow up Jeeps and shoot stuff. And it's kind of just more action heavy. And it's actually pretty good at doing that stuff. And it looks pretty nice on top of it. Like I'm playing the PlayStation 3 version, so it's not the HDest version out there, like the next gen.
No 4K systems here.
I keep defaulting to calling it next gen because I don't have it yet, and also I'm not convinced it's going to take. Like I'm kind of in this like just like I don't know, man. Like I know PlayStation sold a couple million units or whatever, but I don't know. Wait and see. I'm not sure if this is the last. This might be the end. Those PC Master.
It'll be when they stop supporting it.
Yeah,
that's when you'll be like, oh, okay, this is the new gen.
The gen I cared about is over. Now I need to move on or be like, no, PC or something. Like actually state what I'm going to do.
Sony's always actually supported their like older generation for quite a bit. Like enough time that if you had a PS2 when the PS3 came out, you were still getting stuff, even though it wasn't like, of course, the jump from the PS2 to the PS3 was huge.
Came out really kind of late, like like Persona came out after the point where it made sense. Like PS3 still has Persona 5 on its way for it and stuff, so there's still things. And man, like just looking through, like I have a huge digital library of games I just kind of want to check out on PS3, so I don't feel like I'm too behind the times.
And they keep giving them out too, so
yeah. And I guess like that's the thing. The downloadable version of Ground Zeroes that I bought is $20. I feel like for $20, if you're a Metal Gear fan, there is enough value there for me to feel pretty good about it. But if you're going for like the next gen retail version, which I believe is $30 or maybe $40, like it's getting higher up there. I don't know. Like that's kind of getting more like if you're if you're the type of Metal Gear fan that it's like, oh, new Metal Gear, I'm gonna buy that. Like you don't even need to think about it.
No, that's me.
Yeah. Then don't worry about it. Just go for it. Like there's some cool stuff in here. Despite the
I'm not worried about because it's actually a bit cheaper than I thought it would be too.
Yeah, no, I was happy when they announced that. I was like, oh, are you kidding me? Ground Zeroes is going to be $20. Like, okay, done. Day one. Like I was like, if this is $60, like I didn't get Rising right away. And, I wasn't the biggest fan of 4, so I'm not on my highest point of Metal Gear enthusiasm. But them being like, hey, $20, I was like, okay, that's progressive pricing for a big studio like you. I will do that. And I the
Kojima Studios production.
Yep. That dude's name is all over that game. Like in the credits, it's in there like 7 times. Like it's just like, hey, guys, this was written by Hideo Kojima. He directed it. Also, he, produced it and worked on this thing. And I was like, I know. Like, I know.
Also, he just kind of is Snake.
He's the Mr. Metal Gear guy. I know. Like,
yeah.
Are you reassuring me that he's still here? Like, what is this? But I don't know. Like, I guess it's a little light on some Metal Gear content in a way. Like, I am used to, like, being, hey, long cutscenes, tons of heavy story content. This basically has, like, an intro music video, and that is a cutscene where they're kind of just flying through the camp and stuff, and, like, basically just reveal a major character that's going to factor into the next Phantom Pain or whatever. Skullface is the name of this dude. And then the mission is just you got to rescue these two people. And then after you do that, there is another cutscene that's like 5-10 minutes or something, and then that's it. So, I am used to way longer stuff like that, but they are kind of, I think, just putting more of that story content into the game, like into the game world. So it's like you are listening to a cassette tape with like minutes of stuff happening, but you're also still running around and sneaking around and stuff. And actually, the sprint feature is kind of cool, like, because it's like, spotlight sweeps past, and then you run to get past it before it sweeps back again. Or it's just like, oh crap, a guard patrol's coming. I gotta book it and then dive into these bushes. Like, it's good at that. Or actually, the end of missions seems to pretty much always involve you calling in a helicopter and then getting to the evac point. So almost every mission I've done, it's like the final stage, I alert the guards because like I am carrying a person, or like I am trying to like get through like the thickest part of the base, so I always get sighted or something. So it almost always ends with like a mad sprint to the helicopter to jump in and fly out of there. And I don't know, it feels kind of cool when that happens. It's like good at conveying like franticness or something, and it always looks kind of sharp doing that. But I don't know. Yeah, this is that kind of music video bit, which is this like Ennio Morricone song called "Here's to You," which is now in my head because it's like, they play it over the credits.
They played
too.
a lot or something.
Yeah, they play the intro and the outro essentially. So you will hear that song at least 2 full times.
Like the best is yet to come in Metal Gear Solid 1.
Yeah.
Great song.
I guess this is yet to come. I don't remember.
Yeah.
Or it's like
it's
the
like
song, dude.
Or whatever.
Yeah.
I don't remember what the lyrics were.
Okay. I guess another just kind of like thing that confused me about the Kiefer Sutherland thing, not to kind of go over that again, but like this was like the justification for that. I seem to recall it being like, okay, well, this is kind of a fresh start. Like this is a reboot or something. Like this is a new Metal Gear.
That's a stupid reason.
Like, it is absolutely not that at all, because it is, like, such a middle chapter in the story. Like, it is, like, at the end of the game, like, a timeline scrolls up of just, like, what to a non-Metal Gear fan would just be incomprehensible bullshit. Like, it's just, like, Les Enfants Terribles, and, like, all, inserted in there with all these, like, pseudo-historical events and, like, Outer Heaven and all this stuff. And you're just like, I know what this is, because I've been playing all of these. So why did you recast like the guy who was in all of those? Like, it just.
Why did you recast Snake?
Yeah, it's just like super annoying to me. Like, I don't.
Especially since David Hayter wanted to do it again. He loves that part.
Like, unless like the only thing that like some fans are kind of holding out hope that's like, okay, well this is they recast Big Boss, but Solid Snake when he shows up in Phantom Pain eventually, which is probably going to happen. It'll be David Hayter's voice, and then, it'll be, Bring It Back or something. And I'm just like, that's weird, though, because he's a clone. Like, it should be the same voice. Like, it's already been established. He was the guy in 3 and, like, Peace Walker and all this. Like, what are you doing? So, and they're so proud of the fact that it's
Solid Snake right now.
No, I don't like doing that. Like,
that was a pretty good impression, not gonna lie. Anyways, continue.
No, I don't like doing no, it's not. At no point is there a
that sounded almost like you were just tired. You're just like, no, I don't want to do that.
Well, he's really old. He's not.
Actually, you know what?
Yeah.
That like little end part and the cough was actually not too bad.
Well,
not too bad at all.
Too,
so
and,
he does. Yes.
Yeah, it's kind of a strange, like they're obviously kind of trying to get away from some stuff. Like there's at no point hiding in boxes. Like there's not codec stuff, but I feel like the codec things in games past was kind of a necessity of the tech in a way. Like it's just like,
Yeah.
we can't literally have like 12 hours of cutscenes or something. Like we can't have that. So we're just going to kind of occasionally pare it down to there are two heads talking to each other. And then that's it.
Until the PS3 came along, and then they could have 15 hours of cutscene.
Yeah. They could finally realize
Yeah.
their vision. And there's less codec stuff in that game than in previous ones. So,
Oh, God, yeah.
yeah, like it's like now it's just that stuff is talked over gameplay. So it's like you can press L2 for the radio and your commander guy will chime in and like say stuff, but it's not stop everything. We need to have a conversation about like Godzilla movies or James Bond or something, which is too bad because I love those in old ones, but it doesn't totally ruin anything. It's just yeah. And yeah, like the shooting mechanics and stuff, all that stuff is pretty sharp. Like it's just you can effectively run around and play Call of Duty-esque shooting guys in this game now, and it feels pretty modern and pretty cool. And switching gadgets and stuff is all totally easy. So, in a way, yeah, like some of the fundamental gameplay mechanics are better than they've been in a long time, if not like the best they've done. But just kind of that slight change to the character is really just a little salt in the wound or something. Like I don't like that they did that, but I'll probably still buy the next one. You know, like probably,
Yeah, you're in.
I'm probably in, but
When did they
I
get
will
you?
be holding out hope.
Was
the
it Metal
first-
Gear Solid 3?
The first one I ever played was 2, and I liked it
Okay.
quite a bit. And then,
Okay.
I think after that it was kind of around the time Twin Snakes came out. So then I was like, okay, I'll buy Twin Snakes, and then I played Twin Snakes and like that. And that to me is Metal Gear Solid 1, but people hate that port, or like, you know, people are like, oh, it's
No,
too
it's
anime.
totally fine.
Yeah, I was like, no, dude, whatever. It like looks good.
The whole series is too anime.
Yeah.
Like, so whatever.
So that did in no way bothered me. Like the stuff they did with Cyber Ninja, I was like, no, this is cool.
Frank Yeager, Gray Fox.
Yeah. So like, yeah, him kind of flipping out in that hallway and whatever. I was just like, no, it's just a cool action scene. Like that was awesome. So I don't care if that's not the original. And actually, yeah,
I've been waiting for this pain.
like I bought the
So
original
dumb.
on like the PS1, and I was just like, oh, this is unplayable. Like this is terrible because like it's the D-pad controls. And I was just like, it broke my mind. I was like, oh god, this came out before analog control. Yeah, this is
Yeah, it did.
terrible. Like this is I can't deal with this. So like I was just dying over and over on the first Cyber Ninja fight, and I was like, okay, I'm just done. I don't think I'm gonna play this anymore. Like this is I gave it like 9 shots.
Talk about grunting too, hey? For
Tons
that
of
first ninja fight.
I mean, they kind of have the
So
echo
dumb.
scream when you game over. They have a bit of that, like the "Ugh," but not as good. Like it's just not as good. There's not as much commitment in the grunting and yelling, and you need that.
Does it
David
have
Hayter was
does it
game.
have the like dun 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 dun
No.
dun at all?
No, actually,
Oh.
it's still Harry Gregson
Oh.
Williams doing the music, but
My
yeah,
heart.
Actually, that game
My
over
heart.
screen is less.
I can't go on.
Yeah. Those old games still exist. I'm actually like thinking like, should I just get the PS3 version of HD Collection too, so I can play Peace Walker like again? Because like I know I have it on 360. I just kind of never want to boot up a 360 again, and I don't know why. Like I'm just like, I like my setup right now, PlayStation.
Yeah.
C. It's like, well, 360 is also there, but I don't want that. Like I just don't want to do it because like I'm not sure. I'm done. I just move on. I'm not sure why. Like that is the console that is last gen to me. PS3 somehow managed to stay relevant. It's weird.
Okay,
But,
I need you to do one more thing before we move on.
Okay.
You have to do your impression of Kiefer Sutherland doing an impression of Snake.
It's such a kind of generic voice. I'm trying to think of an actual line he says in the game. Maybe there'll be one.
You can say anything,
Actually,
just say
no,
Metal
there's one where
Gear.
it's just like, kept you waiting, huh? But it's not. It's like what I just did was probably actually better. Like it's just like kept you waiting, huh? It's like,
I was gonna say,
Sutherland.
what you
What are you
just did is actually not that bad, but it's no Snake.
It's like he's saying the thing, and it's like, no, you're not the one I've been waiting for. You have his face and his mullet, but fuck off.
I like how in the chat Volusion's like, "Yo, I'm Snake?" Question mark. It's just like that's your impressions. It's like,
yeah,
"Yo, I'm Snake."
Like, I don't get like them treating Kiefer Sutherland like he's a huge deal. Like, it's just like, are they just like huge 24 fans or something? Because like Kiefer Sutherland has never really charted on the A list for me as like
for anything ever.
Yeah, it's just like
no.
He was in that vampire movie that people like. He had a small role in Stand By Me. Like, he was in Dark City.
Oh,
he was like a supporting character.
Arguably, he had a huge role in Stand By Me. Because, you know, the whole story revolves around something he did.
Well, he's like a head bully guy, but he's not.
Yeah.
Not the main.
He was he was the antagonist.
He was the antagonist, but like he's fleeting in that movie. Like, he shows up like 3 or 4 times. Like, he's not.
Oh, sure. Yeah.
Like,
he doesn't have a lot of screen time.
Yeah, like River Phoenix and Will Wheaton like are that movie, and then it's like, oh, also the bad guy is here now. He's hitting mailboxes with a baseball bat or something, but he's not. But whatever. That's like early in his career. Like, honestly, past a certain point though, like I'm just like, 24 was the thing. Like, that's why people are like, oh yeah, dude, that show was amazing. It's like, I just never watched it. Like, I have no idea. Like, was that a huge cultural touchstone for people? 24? Was that like game-changing TV?
I hear people actually like it quite a bit. I haven't seen it myself. I hear it's actually quite good though. So
I know he's
knows?
like really
Maybe.
angry and he'll like torture dudes and he's anti-terrorism or whatever. And like, it's like, okay, like there's talk of.
I hear it's good.
Yeah. So I like that's maybe why it's just like
maybe we're the fools here. Maybe we're like, dude, fuck David Hayter.
Yeah, like dude, he's perfect.
Kiefer Sutherland.
Kiefer Sutherland has like the exact chops for this. You know, him yelling and stuff. Like you'll see later, like he'll freak out and it'll be awesome. It's like, okay, maybe, I don't know, but yeah, it's just like after every mission you do, it's like starring Kiefer Sutherland. Like, it's like Kiefer Sutherland is Snake, and I'm just like, shut up! I know that's not something to be proud of. You guys, you screwed it up. So, fanboy, whatever. But I've played it. He's not good. Like, fact, not as good. So, objective.
Now do just a Kiefer Sutherland impression, not Snake, just any.
I don't.
Because I know what you're gonna say.
What? Like, tell me where the bombs are.
Oh,
I don't know. Like,
oh no! I thought
I'm gonna shoot you in the face.
I was sure you were just gonna be like, "Hello, I'm Kiefer Sutherland" or something.
Hey guys, I'm Kiefer Sutherland. My dad is cooler than
yeah.
Donald,
I'm Kiefer Sutherland of the Sutherlands.
Yeah, I'm of the Sutherland fame. Dirty Dust
of the Hollywood Sutherlands, Southern Cali, represent.
Yep. Man,
good impression, bro. Good impression.
It's a little late for yelling. Okay.
Yeah. What was with that? Just screaming.
That's my impression of Kiefer Sutherland. In
just like, oh, I'm Jack Bauer. Where's the bomb?
He yells at people a lot. He gets really mad. It's like, where's my daughter? Like that kind of shit. He's always mad about the terrorists. They're gonna blow someone up. It's like, where's the bomb? Where's the gas?
It's because he's American. They're always mad about the terrorists.
They're so mad about the terrorists. Speaking of the terrorists, that airplane disappeared. Like, I don't know if it's related, but that's such a weird
Malaysian Airlines.
Yeah, it's been like 2 weeks. It's just gone.
And that's funny because working at the airport there, people always come in. It's like, so you hear about the airplane? It's like, dude, we're not Malaysian Airlines. No. Like, why would we hear about the plane? We're not the NSA. We're not like the FBI. We're not the CIA. We just work in a cargo building.
Like,
we just work in a cargo building. Like, why would we hear about it? But yeah.
I guess like every time there's a car accident, is someone at Ford like, hey, did you hear about the thing? And it's just like, what? Like, what are you talking about? No.
That would be amazing.
Yeah.
You're just like a car salesman at Ford. It's like, so, you hear about the backup on Route 24? Ah, that's a big backup, that one.
I don't keep tabs on all car-related stuff. I guess airplanes.
A lot of history on that road, yep.
Like, airplanes are in rarer company, I guess. So,
of course.
And it's big news. Like, everyone has been buzzing about it. Like, I don't even know what to say about it, other than it's super weird to have, like, just a straight-up mystery on like, people bring it up. It's just like, yeah, it's still gone. I don't know what happened. You're just like, why are you reporting on it? Like, there's nothing.
Nobody knows.
It's just, like, tune in for head-scratching and just kind of puzzlement. It's really strange.
Speaking of puzzlement in the news...
Yeah.
Did you see that? Okay, so, like, there was a helicopter crash or something in Seattle?
Oh, gee. Oh,
do you know what I'm talking about?
Like a news crew or something?
Yeah, something like that. But, like, the news guy, he was on Twitter, like, on live TV, and he was showing a picture that somebody posted on Twitter, and as he was scrolling through them, there was one of just, like, this giant wiener that someone posted. Did you see that?
I did see that. It was, like, some Spanish dude's Twitter feed, and it's just like, yeah, it looks so
Oliver.
Easy. Dong. Yeah.
I think it's Wolfsex. WOLVESEX.
Okay.
I think that's his Twitter handle. But I was wondering, at what point?
Yeah.
What point do we go ahead and contact Mr. Wolfsex, Oliver, as he might like to be called, and ask him for an interview?
We don't. Like, what do you mean? Do we need to do that? It's like following up on this hot internet story. Like,
that's right. That's a hot internet story. That was a bigger story than the actual crash, because Reddit just flew with it and it was hilarious. But
I guess
I don't know. That was
even in relation to like a big news story. I thought it was just like, hey, morning TV talking about Twitter or something, and then oops, screwed up that.
No, this is kind of what I was wanting to get to and see what your opinions are on it.
Yeah.
Old forms of media, and specifically news broadcasters and reporters, using the internet for their stories.
Yeah.
Kind of weird, right? Because they're not even trying to go out there anymore and report on stuff. They're just finding somebody that was like across the street and snapped a picture and put it on Twitter. And then, that's their picture for the news.
No, dude, it seems like less and less necessary every day. And I get, like, kind of more and more annoyed with it. Like, the more and more I, like, open a newspaper and just see, like, hey, here's the latest celebrity tweets. I'm like, whoever is preparing this column has the easiest job in the world, and I hate them. Because, like, this is the laziest garbage. Like, if I wanted to know what Charlie Sheen was saying, I would have followed him. Like, the internet is its own media. Like, I know how to find it. Why are you throwing this up in my face? Like, I'm just trying to see what's going on. Like, I'm bored on a bus. Like, that's why I'm looking at your thing. And they're just kind of throwing this internet garbage at me. And it's just like, I know how to get internet garbage. Like, it's all around. It is a little weird. So, yeah, when it's, like, on the news and stuff, it's just like, hey, check out this. We just got this new story in on the internet. Like, Twitter, check this out. People replying. And it's just like, that the world still for some reason supporting people to just kind of do that is obnoxious. I don't like it. Or typos in hate articles.
Then use our hashtag CTV News on Twitter and on Facebook. It's like, what? No, that is not how this goes. No, you just go away now. Like, put the Price is Right back on in this time slot, and you just stay on your social media, because that's what everybody uses these days anyways, except for the dinosaurs that, like, our parents and grandparents and stuff like that. They should probably be dead soon anyway. So we can just go ahead and, I think, abolish newscasters and reporters and all that sort of stuff. Get rid of all their jobs. They can just sit there, one person on Reddit, posting shit to their website and to their social media groups. That's all you need. I guess that's all you need.
Maybe it's just kind of this thing where it's like, well, there's a big generation, like there's still an older demographic that does not consume media the way we are. So to us, it seems like this is redundant. Like, I already saw this 19 times. Like, why is this also printed in tomorrow's newspaper? But it's like, your grandpa didn't know this happened, so now he does. That's for him. It's not even for you. Maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, I know. I get emails and stuff too, like subscribing to newspapers. Like, the New York Times, for some reason, keeps being like, hey, 50% off, yo. It's just like, I don't want
the
this.
New York Times?
Yeah. I probably set up an account to, like, read a story, like, 4 years ago. And now I'm just on this mailing list. And there's no, like, easy unsubscribe at the bottom of the email, so I just keep getting them. But
No, of course they don't want you to
whatever.
unsubscribe.
Like,
That's how they get
me
their
complaining
money.
about a thing I could solve. Like, probably not that hard, but I'd have to log into that old account again. I don't read newspapers, but they want me to, man. I don't know. Or magazines. Like, we have magazines at the store I work at, and they seem to exist just for people to have while they drink coffee. But, like, a lot of people don't buy
and the
them.
bathrooms.
Yeah, like, it's just like, I take the magazine from the magazine place, read all the stuff I care about, and then I walk away. Like, I'm paying $12 for a magazine, and you're just like, okay, well, this is obviously going to die. Like, if you're representative of people who buy magazines, they do not have much longer to go. But
no, they don't.
Maybe digital subscriptions to them and whatever. But yeah, I don't know. Yeah, old media. It's strange to me. But yeah, television talking about Twitter. Like, why is that?
Hashtag CTV News.
Yeah.
I don't know that. I think CTV News is an actual thing for us. That's why I keep saying it. I think that might actually be their hashtag too. I don't know. We should come up with a new hashtag for them.
Oh, what's that stupid one that Closer? They keep trying to make that their slogan. Closer. I think that's what channel is that? Global?
What?
Closer?
City TV?
Yeah.
The Closer one. And it's like got that song, Tegan and Sarah.
No, that's Global.
Global. Okay. Whatever. It's like
all I wanted to be a little bit closer.
It's like an ad for local news, and you're just like, okay.
See, it's weird because Closer, when people used to use that hashtag, I remember it was for the TV show The Closer or whatever. And it was like that older detective lady, like closing cold cases or something like that. But I don't know. That's kind of weird. Closer. That's just so unspecific to news. It's just like, oh man, I want to fuck you like an animal, hashtag Closer, because that's the song name that line comes from. Mm-hmm. Or like Tegan and Sarah, like, all I want to get is a little bit hashtag Closer. It's just such a weird thing to use for your hashtag. It's very unspecific, but I mean, all the power to them. I guess that's the only way they can get hits these days. Anyways, is that the only thing you played? That can't be it. You were typing for a while.
No, dude, I played a lot more games. Hey, Towerfall Ascension. That's some of that. But we talked about that last week.
Okay, let's go.
Dude, it's actually good. Like, of the local multiplayer primary things, like, it's my favorite of those. But it just has more variety. Like, it actually does a lot of the Smash Brothers-esque things of just having, like, weird tweaks you can do to it, like weird arrow types, weird items that kind of change it up, and like a decent amount of dumb single player crap. But it's really, the multiplayer is the star of the show, and it's just fun to play. Like, it's just got a good, jumping around and shooting arrows at dudes. It's just fun. It's just fun to do.
Is there anything else you wanted to say about it then that changed?
Not really. It's just, it's still good, and I don't know. Like, it doesn't have online multiplayer, but a lot of stuff didn't. So, I don't know. Kind of a weird justification. It's fun. It's just fun, dude. You know what else is fun? Love Trousers. I feel good about that too. Even though, there's not tons going on. It's just a well-made little thing. It's kind of, I guess the comparison points, I guess you need to mention Defender or something because it scrolls, or like Resogun more recently. Like, it'll loop. You're kind of just on a plane that, like, you're on a, you fly to the right and eventually you will loop back around and start passing the same ships and stuff again. But stuff it's reminding me of having fun in the past is like River Raid and Time Pilot, mainly because I'm blowing up like planes and boats. So River Raid, but I'm kind of like pulling tight turns in the air and stuff like Time Pilot. But the thing this game does is stalling out your engine and just kind of falling while shooting and then flying up again. Like, you just have a lot of degree of control over your airplane. And you're just getting out combos and stuff and shooting tons of ships and whatever. And the music is helping that. And I'm pretty sure, I keep getting more and more convinced that this is true. Depending on what upgrades you have applied to your ship, like you're playing, it'll change the music a little bit. Like different instruments accompany different upgrades. So they'll just kind of factor into the score. Like it's the same basic theme song or whatever, but like there'll be little things about it that are like unique to your custom ship or whatever. And like, yeah, there's like a handful of different upgrades and stuff you're unlocking. And I'm playing it kind of simultaneously 2 times because I'm playing it on Vita and PlayStation 3, like the crossplay, but they're not syncing my progress. But I don't feel bad about that. Like, I'm just like, whatever, I'll unlock.
Well, because it's kind of an arcade game, right?
Yeah, it's
like
just a score
whatever
hunt kind of thing. So
yeah,
like there was a brief period where it's like there's a cool engine type I have on Vita that I don't have on PS3, but that's not a big deal. I guess there is a big cannon I would like to have on the PS3 one, but I get to unlock it all over again, so it's still fun. I think I've kind of played through a lot of that, but I haven't gotten like a super awesome score. Like my best is around 17,000 on the Vita.
Okay.
But yeah, it's like, I don't know, $10, $8 with plus, and it's just kind of a tight, fun thing. Like for like a bullet hell type thing, like I'm enjoying it way more than the average one of those because it's not like level based. It's just play as long as you can. And the way it kind of handles, like your plane can like dive into the water and like come back out. It'll damage you in most cases, but you can actually get a type of armor or something that lets you just go underwater. And there's another one where you can just crash into stuff, so you can kind of like skim along the water.
Jousting one or whatever.
Crash through boats, yeah. There's all sorts of different power-ups that kind of change the gameplay pretty profoundly, so you can kind of mess around with different options and see what works for you. I don't know. That's been a fun time. It pulls me in for like kind of half an hour, 40 minutes at a time, maybe at tops. Like it's just pick up and play for a little bit kind of game. Right. Just today. Oh, okay. I guess whatever. I guess I'll finish up the game thing and then elaborate on kind of this dumb thing I started doing this week. Persona 4 Arena, which I'm wearing the t-shirt. So
wait, what?
Teddy.
When did you get that?
It was part of a sale on PSN like a week or two ago. It was like, hey, did you miss some games from last year? And I was like, I did. It was like $7 or something. So I was like, oh, cool. Because I've been meaning to play that. Man, I have not played like BlazBlue or Guilty Gear really. Like this is by those same guys, like Arc System Works or whatever. Like that game is complicated if you want to actually do it right. In terms of like all the crazy stuff, like I went through the tutorial mode and it was just like once it got to the point where it's like, all right, this is like tutorial tip 46. There's no way I'm gonna remember all of this crap in like the flow of a natural battle of just like back, curl, triangle and circle and does this thing and you're just like, I don't know what's happening. So I'm just kind of fumbling my way through fights and I don't know. I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to really get good at that game in any significant way, but I'm mainly there for like the story content, which I started the story mode and it seems like very Persona, like just like you are clicking through tons of dialogue of just between the characters. Like the way Persona 4 starts is you pressing X for like an hour and a half. Like there's no gameplay for like a long time. So this seemed to be going in that direction. Of just like, man, I've been hitting X for like 5 minutes. This is just literally like that, huh? I'm going to do this later because the way I've been playing most of the games I was just talking about is I have, my game console over here, the PlayStation, and then over here on the main TV over there, I have Martin Scorsese movies on. Like I'll just like click play on Raging Bull and then just have it playing, and then I'm blowing up airplanes over here. And it's the best of both worlds because I get to do something, but there's a story happening over here, and I can like turn my head and be like, "Oh, look at that!" I don't know. I've just taken to like background movies, like just like I have seen this before, so I'm not going to miss anything. But I want something on over here, and it's just like, yeah. So I watched Casino today while playing all of the video games I just mentioned. Like I did another mission in Metal Gear, and also played Luftrausers and Persona. So yeah, arcade mode in Persona is ideal for this. The story heavy stuff kind of clashes weird because it's like 2 stories that are people talking and things happening. And it's just like, I am not paying attention to either right now. This is not ideal. But if it's just, hey, we should fight because I don't know. It's like, okay, yeah, that works. And then stuff's exploding in crazy anime. So yeah, I don't know. Do you like? At one point, I had video game, movie, and a podcast. That was one too many, so I had to pause the podcast. But I don't know, just kind of piling stuff on
too much
top of it.
multitasking.
Yeah, it's just like, if I'm not super invested in any one thing, like the story, like the side missions in Metal Gear are kind of not story based. They're just kind of like, hey, go do this thing. I'm like, okay, sure, whatever. So that's pretty trivial. And then it's a movie I've already seen, so it's not like I need to pay full attention. I can just kind of look over and be reminded of stuff. So I don't know. It's just been kind of this thing I've been doing. But then, if I want to actually sit down and watch something, I'll just turn off everything else and just pay attention. But yeah, so I don't think I actually have ADD or anything. It's just I don't know. Just want more input, like just multitask, just throw more at me. Like, what do you got? It's like listening to music while playing Counter-Strike. Just do you ever do that? Do you do movies?
Yeah, a few times no, not movies, because I have to turn completely around to watch movies if I'm playing a game on my computer. I don't use my console, like, for anything anymore, really, so, what I have done is, I would play music on, like, my normal computer headphones, and then I would have little earbuds playing a podcast sort of thing, and it would be music without lyrics or anything like that. It would just be kind of ambient music. And I would be listening to the podcast with the music kind of underneath it and then playing a video game or something.
Okay. That's cool.
Yeah, so that works out fine.
Yeah. I guess music has to be kind of not too, like, just kind of unobtrusive. Yeah. Background music is also a good thing for playing, like, threes and stuff. That's been kind of a thing I'll do a lot. Just kind of like, I'll play this puzzle game and also listen to some hot jams. And it makes this more fun. And I get to listen to music I like. So cool. Drains your phone real fast, though. But, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, it does.
Like, there's times where I'm just like, oh, I can't actually use this on my break or else I won't be able to listen to anything, like, after work.
Yeah, I can't play my Candy Crush.
Yeah, no. Well, sure.
Get them donuts in Simpsons tapped out.
I guess, for example, a video game I actually wanted to pay attention to because it's not just pure explosions or whatever. I started playing Stick of Truth today, and I was impressed with my initial dabbling in that, but I only put in like half an hour or something and then had to go eat supper. But I like that.
You found it fun? Like the gameplay part?
I mean, there was one thing, like, honestly, the first I'd heard of it was John yesterday was saying, like, oh man, the tutorial glitched out on me, that Obsidian. And I was like, what are you talking about? I haven't heard anyone talking about that. I ran into the same glitch. I glitched the tutorial where it wouldn't progress past a certain point. Had to load a save. It was like, once, what is it? Koopa Landing or Koopa
Keep.
Koopa Keep. Okay.
Yeah.
It's getting attacked, and it's kind of a tutorial battle where you're fighting 3 groups of elves.
Yeah.
I think it was in the.
You don't have to use the quotations. We all know what you mean.
I know. They're kids with ears. But the third battle in that, it was like, hey, you need to attack this guy first. And I was like, okay. That kid was knocked out, but it was still kind of insisting that I attack that guy. And I was like, okay. And then I selected my dagger or whatever. I'm playing as a thief. And it would not let me select the other remaining enemy. So it was just kind of like stuck. Like, it was like, because for a while they kind of confine your choice to what they want to teach you about. So it's not like an open battle that's letting you kind of govern what you do. So it just kind of stopped working. So I had to kind of replay those fights again. It wasn't a big deal. It was like 5 minutes or something, but it was a little weird. But past that point, I haven't had any other things, but I guess I've only really played like less than an hour. But yeah, I don't know, just kind of like wandering around the town and finding weird stuff and like backpacks and just kind of going in people's houses and digging through bathrooms and whatever. Like, just kind of. I actually, honestly, like, it's kind of almost scratching a similar itch that Persona 4 did for me, weirdly, in that it's contemporary real world setting. So it's just like, oh, the things we're talking about are going down to the store and buying some food. Like, like just like normal stuff, but with like a layer of ridiculous on top of it. But it's just like
that's
the junk you're
very
finding
South
like,
Park. Yeah.
Yeah. It's like, oh, I found a CD and some dildos. I'm going to go sell those for money. because it was Cartman's mom's room, which was that was
And
weird.
then you get like $2 for them or something.
Yeah, I haven't sold all that junk yet, but it's kind of fun. And then just like the idea of just befriending a bunch of people in South Park is like, oh, that's great. Just adding all these characters, like Butters, it being Butters, the first person you run to, I was like, oh man, I'm playing this game. Like, this is so fantastic.
It's perfect. I know. And he's the paladin. Have you seen what his heal ability is?
Yeah, he just kind of pats you on the back. He's like, hey, buddy. And
he's like, there you go, buddy. It's
like,
it's so good.
Charge 30 HP. Cool. And I'm just like, hey, here's a Twinkie. Like, I don't know. Like, the stuff they're doing with like just kind of the real world element to it, it's pretty fun.
Yeah, it's very good. It's very good.
Everyone's saying like, oh, it looks like the show. Like, it looks perfect. Like, it's exactly what you'd want.
It looks exactly. It looks very good. Yeah.
Maybe like the houses seem to be very similar layout. Is maybe one of the only beefs I have right now.
They're like that in the show too, though.
I guess so. Yeah. It's just you enter. It's like main room, kitchen is over here. Go upstairs. There's like 2 or 3 rooms, and that's it. It's like, okay, like that's fine.
Yep.
It's just really weird going in multiple houses and it being like almost the exact same thing. It's just, but in this one room, this kid's dressed like a Vulcan, and he's talking about his tricorder. And it's like, okay, this is cool. Like that's the side quest I'm working on right now. I'm out near the church looking for a missing iPad, which I like that's a quest, I guess. Like, and I like the interface for your kind of management. It's like a kind of just a computer, just like you got your tabs for your different stuff and dumb beards for no reason, and like just wigs and dumb stuff you can wear. And I actually no, like the first thing that struck me was like the very first thing, like the intro cutscene kind of looks like those late 70s like Ralph Bakshi movies in terms of like, you know, like the original Lord of the Rings movie, the animated one. It kind of was reminding me of that.
Yeah.
In terms of like just
it's so good. The intro movie is so good.
You're just Cartman as a wizard riding on this horse and all this stuff. I was like, okay, this is pretty good. Actually, I love that the like first thing in the whole game is the menu music is just so serious. Like it's like I just loaded up Skyrim or something. But
it's just like, oh yeah.
It's like it's so like any fantasy RPG, but they're contrasting it just perfectly with the goofiness of South Park. So it's just like, this is kind of all right. You got me. I'll play the rest of this game.
It only gets better from there too, with the dumb little jokes and the stupid like in-world things, and the weapon and like equipment customization is insane. There's like forms of enchantments and stuff for weapons, and different weapons have different slots for that, and like multipliers and do different things.
So it's actually like
it is crazy.
Out RPG too, like that's
it is one of the best thought out RPGs in terms of a loot system I've played in a long time.
Okay,
like a long time.
I got so and I felt good about that, but
dude, you're gonna upgrade every time you enter a new area. Like, there's just so much shit in that game. So that, like, loot lust thing is there, too.
Right. Well, it's like, it seems like they're very kind of just, like, you know, new stuff all the time. Like, you're just walking in new areas, new people are saying new things, and you are getting different stuff, just keep changing and whatever. And it's like 12 hours, right? It's not like a super long runway of time they need to fill. So, I don't know. I'm up for that, for sure. It's cool. So... yeah, look forward to.
And it's essentially one quest.
I guess so. Like, oh, is it really like just that stick got stolen? You got to go get that.
Yeah, but they do the South Park thing, where like someone else will find the stick and just be like, "Okay, I'll give it to you, but we have to find out what's going on with the government now," sort of thing. Like it does
so
the weird
stick
like
is at the center of all this, but it's they come up with other things for you to see and do. Okay.
Yeah, like
I'm already kind of like delighted to go on all these side quests they've been giving me. Like, just like, I'll totally
the side quests are great too.
So,
it's really, really good.
Okay, dude. Actually, wait. Yeah. One of the first things I did was, there's a toilet. Interact. Oh.
Yeah, you took a shit and then picked it out of the toilet.
Why can you pick it up? Is it a weapon?
Yeah, you throw it at a guy, and then they get grossed out, and grossed out is the poison status effect, basically.
Yeah, grossed out. It was just like, oh. Actually, I failed at hitting the button fast enough because it's kind of demanding.
Yeah, me too. Yeah,
Like,
it really is.
It
Yeah.
was like the third toilet I encountered where I was like, all right, I'm going to put my shirt over the controller and just go, like in playing, like track and field or something, just like really, really go for it, and did it. And then it was like, oh, I can actually interact with it. Gross. But yeah, no, that game's interesting. And yeah, looks great. So I will, good first impression. That's that. Do you play any games this week?
I played a lot of DayZ.
Okay. So it's still
the standalone,
totally
the alpha build,
okay.
the early release for $30.
Mhm.
And I guess the only thing I gotta say is don't fucking buy that thing.
What?
Do
I thought
not
you were
buy
really
that.
enjoying it.
No, don't get me wrong, I am.
Okay.
But early release,
Mhm.
it is so broken to the point where it is almost unplayable in a lot of regards. Like, you can move around and stuff fine, zombies do what they're supposed to do, you can like find other people and shoot them if you have guns or scavenge for food, blah blah blah.
Yeah.
But more often than not, you can clip through walls and fall to your death. You can be chased by a zombie, and then the zombie will clip through stairs and just keep hitting you because you can't hit them, like with your axe or something. You can drop an item to try to trade it with your friend, and that item will just disappear in the ground. Like, it is a very, very glitchy kind of piece of garbage. And the guy I'm playing it with, Ty from Spaghetti Cast or whatever,
Yeah.
he played the original mod, and he was saying how in the original mod you could like do helicopters and you can get cars and like bikes and stuff like that. You can't do that in this yet. So if you die, it'll spawn you in some random area and you're going to have to run for like half an hour to get back to where you were, sort of thing. Everybody on it that plays is just kind of an asshole. I don't know. There's a lot of bad things about it. And I'm at the point now where I feel like I probably had enough fun for my $30 that I can call it quits and not like uninstall it completely right now and just buy the Arma 2 mod and have fun with that. Because at least they've put more into that.
Well, like Arma was a finished thing that they kind of put this on top of. Whereas
exactly, like like the thing worked. Like Arma was a game that was released that people put time into, and then they just reskinned it, put like some different coding in there or whatever. They just built on top of it, whereas this are starting from the ground up. Yeah, and you can tell because it's kind of a piece of garbage.
Well, I mean, they're very transparent on their store page about that, though. Like, I was kind of impressed looking at it when I was curious.
They
about
are.
It. They're just like, hey, guys, this is not done at all. Like, please, just know that. And you're just like, okay, well, I appreciate that. I won't buy it. I'll try it out on someone else's profile. Wow, yeah, this is broken. And that's kind of where I set it down. But the idea of it, like, you were actually playing the way I think it's meant to be played with another person, which probably makes a world
I'm playing with another person. It's so good because we're helping each other out when, like, shit's going bad. And, like, one of my first experiences is we met up in a city and we were kind of looking around for stuff. He had gotten shot coming up to meet me in one of the towns. And he had to start again. So we kind of met up in a city. We're scavenging around. Got to a point where we felt comfortable. We had weapons. We had the melee weapons to take care of zombies. We had enough food, sort of thing. And now we were just scavenging for better weapons or like killing people if they came by to take their shit or whatever. And I broke my legs. Like, my character broke his legs by like kind of falling off one story. That's what happens in that game. There's like no falling or jumping physics. You just break your leg. Okay. And what happens when you break your leg in that game is that you can no longer walk. Every time you try to walk, you lay down in the prone position and you have to crawl everywhere. So I was just left on top of the building and we were talking on Razor comms, basically just like a VoIP thing, right?
Yeah.
And he, like, for 2 hours, he was looking around at different hospitals and stuff, trying to find me leg splints and bandages and shit like that. And, like, well, I'm up there, like, scouting out the area to make sure nobody's gonna snipe him off and stuff like that.
Okay.
But, yeah, it's just this weird thing, because, like, another story in that same play session, the guy that shot him apparently was laying in a prone position in a building that he went into. And the last thing he heard before he was popped was the guy said in the mic, "Hey, buddy," and shot him.
Oh, no.
Or whatever. So later on, when we had that stuff or whatever, he was walking by somewhere and he heard, "Hey, buddy," and he got freaked out and just was like, "Oh shit, I'm gonna die." And like, he was freaking out in like our voice chat thing separately, and then he queued up in the game. He's like, "I'm with people, don't hurt me or you're gonna die." It's just like talking to this other person, like we're actually in this world sort of thing, like it's a dire consequence to dying. And that is very refreshing, but at the same time, that game is a piece of garbage and you probably shouldn't pay money for it now.
Wow. That's so, it's such a weird thing. It's just like, man, it's super immersive and amazing when it wants to be, but it's also broken, don't play it. Like, it's just like this weird thing.
Okay. I'm getting a little bit of questions in the chat here. Splitting ammo is a thing that is quite encouraged. When we had the same gun, we would split the ammo, and any ammo we found, we would split between the two of us, sort of thing. Mm-hmm. Dehydration is in it, and just like real life and stuff like that, if you are running full sprint or doing a lot of activity, you dehydrate quicker and you can die from it. You just kind of lose consciousness and then die. And same thing with exposure sort of thing. Like if zombies are hitting you and you're bleeding and stuff, you can bleed out. You can get infections. You can die from eating rotten fruits and apples, or like sometimes there's just like Windex or like chemical cleaner bottles, and there's an option to drink it.
Why would you ever?
So like if you drink it, no, I know, but if you drink it, you die. Like, so there is stuff like that around the world too, where if you can eat rotten fruits and stuff, if you have charcoal tablets to like take away the toxicity and eat those at the same time, sort of thing. You drink dirty water if you have water purification tablets from hospitals. So it is very, very robust in the survival aspect. Okay. Very good in that respect. But $30, so man, for a game that is kind of garbage, like mechanically. If you're with another person or a couple of people and you're jumping into servers, trying to survive sort of thing, it's a great time. If you are looking for a game that you can play like regularly, this is not it yet. And I think if they keep working on it, then it will be something very, very good. Because I'm told it actually looks and plays, like moves better than the actual mod. The original mod. So they're already doing better in that respect, but I don't know, man. $30 is a huge price to ask for how little like quality there is in a lot of stuff in that build so far. They are constantly adding stuff though, so I don't know. I mean, I have it now, so if you're listening to this and it sounds worth your while or whatever, you could probably go ahead and get it, and you could know that there's at least 2 people that'll play with you. But I will be getting Arma 2, like the pack that they're selling or whatever now, because we will be playing the mod, because we're going to try to set up a Pixel Response server. Like, we're going to try to do our own server sort of thing. So if anybody's interested in that, show some interest maybe, and we'll see if it's worth our time. It's only like $30 a month for a server. Then we could play around in the mod. But, yeah, I've been playing a lot of that, and Star Wars, The Old Republic, I got pretty deep into that. I'm pretty good. I'm pretty happy with that right now.
Okay.
Did you ever play any of that?
No, like I have it installed and generally ready to go. I just kind of haven't done that because it sounds time consuming, and also I had that weird trip. Like when I was at my most like, ooh, I should play that, was when I was listening to a bunch of old Bombcasts where they were talking about it. So I was just kind of like, oh yeah, Old Republic, yeah. So I downloaded it, had it ready to go, and then tripped up on like the sign in or something. Like it was like, all right, we're gonna send a code to your phone, and it just didn't work out. And then I was kind of over.
Oh yeah, you did the authorization code thing.
Yeah, I was kind of over it
Yeah.
by the time that was presented to me, and I was just like, whatever. And now it's just kind of sitting there taking up like 30 gigs or some garbage.
I really like how they do quests and how the quests for the different classes you pick are different with like whole different areas you go to and all that sort of stuff. I don't like their free-to-play model because I've been finding out more and more what you don't get. You don't get a bank. So you only get your 20 slot like inventory that you start with, and that's it, unless you're a subscriber. You don't get access to any of the races except for the cyborgs, the humans, and one other one I can't remember. And there's like 8 to 12 different like races.
It's like cyborgs, like what? Like
humans with
something,
metal eyes.
Oh, that's it. Okay. So I could be like
think about
a
like
robot with a human heart.
Think Terminator.
Okay.
Think Terminator with like some of the skin showing and like ripped off sort of thing, and it's metal. That's
when
what the
hell does
cyborgs
that
are
happen
kind of
in
look
Star
like.
Wars? Like
I don't
ever.
know.
But okay, sure.
I'm sure it does. I guess like Luke's hand and stuff like that.
I guess
I don't know.
I guess they're cyborgs. Sure, like Vader's a cyborg. Then, okay, I guess so. So the answer.
I don't know if they're a race, but
has cyborgs. Like one of the first scenes in the whole thing, cyborg in it. So never mind. I rescind my outrage. I just never thought about them like Terminators.
Other things for the free play stuff. If you're playing for free, you don't get the sprint option until you're level 10. Whereas if you're a subscriber, you can do that to move around faster instantly.
Wow.
Your quick travel.
Be bored in longer hallways. But okay, quick travel.
Your quick travel cooldown for free to play is 45 minutes, and it's 20 minutes for subscribers. So it's half the time.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to think about what else there is. You cannot trade items to your friend if you are a free-to-play member.
Man, this is kind of bringing me back to like RuneScape. That was a game I played a lot of, and there was a paid model. There was kind of a separation between premium and regular, and you just feel kind of like a scrub. But you're just like, no, fuck you. I'm gonna just keep grinding. I'm gonna keep making these pizzas in this flour mill. Screw you guys. But yeah, that's kind of lame.
You can't have more than 2 characters if you're free to play. Which
I guess
that's not a huge deal to me.
You want to see all the story content for each race and class and stuff, right? So
you would think
there's a small percentage of the game available to you. Then how much is subscribing? Is it honestly $15 a month or?
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
So not a huge fee or anything like that. But I already have my subscription model game, so like whatever. I'll just not worry about it, play with people if they want to play sort of thing, or just kind of go through the story, and then when I'm done, I'm done.
Do you still have to buy the core game too, or can you just be like, hey, here's $15.
It's free.
Thank you for giving me access, and then
it's $15, thank you.
Okay, good. That's at least not crazy. Like it's not like, hey, yeah, no, it's still $39.99. You can buy it and then start paying us to get your cool stuff. So, yeah,
nope,
that game was expensive.
None of that.
Cost EA a lot of money, so I get why they're trying
to
squeeze more out of it. But I guess I should play. I should play it before they just turn it off, right? Because they're going to do that. That'll happen. Well, eventually, right? That's just how EA does stuff. It's just like, hey, it's 2014.
Probably.
We're turning off 2010 sports games now or something. Like, just kind of burning as they go the stuff behind them. They're, like, no longer encouraging that. So
yeah, no, probably. You're probably right. They're probably going to cancel it at some point. And then people that put money into it will feel bad.
Yeah, it's just like, I guess. I accomplished nothing long term. You're just like, yep. Or it's like, hey, 20 years from now, when they're like all nostalgic about it, it's like, oh, I should go on that quest. Oh, yeah, I can never play that again. That game effectively never existed. It's weird. It's weird. Like for how much story content and how single player it sounds for some of it. Are you playing with
I think that's just kind of a thing you get used to, though, when you're an MMO player. is that
guess
at
so.
any point, all this time you're putting in and money into something is just like gone. Like a plug literally gets pulled and everything you were working towards is gone in that game. So
Weird. Guess I'm just not.
I'm playing with one other person now. I wasn't
Okay.
playing with anybody when I got up to... I'm level 12 right now, and that was basically in one night sort of thing. Like, it's pretty fast leveling, not too bad. And today, Ty actually downloaded it, and he started a new character, level 1, on the same server as me. And I helped him get up to level 9 right before the podcast. That's what we were doing. So if he
Okay.
kept playing, he is easily level, like... Well, he's level 10 now, for sure. I'm sure he would have kept going until he got his lightsaber and got off the intro planet. So
Okay.
if he kept playing, he's easily probably level 12 to 15, somewhere in there. But if he stopped, he's level 10. So it didn't take too long, maybe like 4 hours total,
Okay.
which isn't
What-
too bad.
I guess-
A lot of running around.
Are you kind of like subtly suggesting I jump in now and play with you guys and get me caught
Not
up?
at all. If you want
Okay.
to, go ahead.
What server are you on? Like, you know.
I'm trying to remember what it is. The Bastion, I guess, is the server name.
Really? Okay. The Bastion.
Yeah. Yeah. And we're Dark Side. Sith.
Well, yeah, dude. Hell yeah. Dark side.
Yeah.
That's where the cool cats are.
But I got the like in-game achievement or something for like being friendly. So I'm a friendly Sith. And I don't know how I feel about that. I feel a little bad.
It's like they're traitors
But, like,
by nature, so that's weird.
I haven't been friendly though, because even like the friendly options are still like, don't talk to me, like that sort of thing. Like they're still kind of brutal.
Mm-hmm.
But
it's just like you
I
didn't
felt
murder
I would be
so that's
I felt I would
nice.
be closer to the dark side sort of thing, because a lot of the options I was just like, fuck yeah, I'll kill him. Here, watch me. Like, I don't know. I chose a lot of those options, but the problem is I got a companion in that game now, and she's kind of a sexy alien lady. And now it's like,
Okay.
well, I got to impress this girl, right? So I can't be totally mean because I know she doesn't like that, and you lose points with her. So I've been trying to kind of ride the line now, you know?
Mhm.
Just like trying to be evil, but then have a heart on the side for this lady. And that's where I'm at in that game, I guess. But
Okay.
yeah, bitches ain't shit. But
Yeah,
hoes
I
and
guess
tricks.
if there's like a dead patch where I'm like, hey, I got time. Like, how long would you estimate it would take to play through like a campaign of this game, like to kind of get a good taste?
I have no fucking idea. I'm level 12.
Like, how many hours is that to level 12?
Like maybe 3, 4.
Okay, that's not. Okay.
Like I'm just trying to think of when we started playing tonight together. Probably around 6:37, and we started this podcast at about 9. And I stopped playing with him probably. Okay, he probably got to level 10 in about 2 hours.
Okay. From 0, like just 0 to 10, boom.
From 0. From like even less than 0, because I had to wait for him for a while he went to go like fix his dad's headlight or something.
Oh, I thought
So-
you meant like make the character and whatever, but okay.
Yeah.
All right, that could conceivably happen. I mean, I have it, so I might as well click play on that executable at some point, but I just haven't done that yet.
Sure.
BioWare. Remember those guys?
I do. They used to make games.
Yeah, that Dragon Age 3 is coming out eventually. You gonna get that?
I am looking forward to it. Yes,
Okay.
I will.
Hope it's good.
Dragon Age 2 was kind of a blemish,
Mhm.
but it still wasn't necessarily the worst thing ever. I'm trying to say that with a straight face, but I don't know. It was
It's kind of
pretty.
disappointing, it seemed to be to a lot of people.
It was
like-
not what you go to Dragon Age for. You don't go to Dragon Age for the action adventure RPG. You go for the slow, meticulous, story driven, kind of like hard as fuck.
Well, I heard there
Battle
wasn't like a
system
big good
RPG.
sense of scale to that game either. Like, you're spending a lot of time in one city, right? Like, isn't that kind of its thing?
Oh yeah, in one city, and then not only that, a lot of the like different dungeons or instances or whatever you want to call them, you go into,
Yeah.
are the exact same layout. Like they're the exact same thing with like different doors in different places.
Yeah, that's basically how Mass Effect 1, like the planets missions.
Yes, that's exactly, like, yes.
Enter a warehouse. In this one, this door is piled up with crates, and this one's open. And there's a big open area, and another big open area, and then some stairs, and another set of doors. And different ones are open, depending on which planet you're on. And outside, it's green on this one. Like, yeah, it's kind of lazy. So BioWare's done that before. But yeah, it's kind of too bad. Star Wars, though, hey, distinct environments. Like, does it all look crazy custom? Like, kind of like.
I mean, so far, yeah, but that's kind of the MMO thing, right?
I guess so. Yeah.
Is that there's different areas, and they kind of have to look good because you're going to be spending quite a bit of time in there. So
okay, I guess different kind of structure. Yeah, hopefully Dragon Age
like
3
the
is
whole
good.
intro. The whole intro area for Star Wars is like the kind of like sandy look, not sandy, but like just the rock quarry type look sort of thing that they do sometimes for planets in Star Wars. It's just that the whole time. But then when you get out of that area and start moving around to like the other areas, there's like lush forests and stuff like that and cityscapes and shit like that. So
I guess now I'm thinking like of Dragon Age specifically. If I was to just mainline the story of the first game, how long would that take me, do you think?
Probably 5 to 10 hours.
Are you serious? Really?
Probably.
Oh, I thought it'd be like 40 or something.
Here, let me spoil Dragon Age for you storyline, because it doesn't matter what the story is. You pick a character of different. You pick a character of different origin or race or whatever.
Yeah.
You do their intro area to learn about like that type of people or whatever.
Yeah.
Then you become part of the Grey Wardens. You go meet a few people, and then you basically go attack like the main, like you have a war sort of thing, and then you go do you do the end part after that, and everything other than that is side mission, depending on who you want to get for your parties.
I'm the type to get kind of compulsive about my side mission stuff.
Okay, for you to do it then, I spent 80 hours into that game on one character.
I guess it's just before I was playing the kind of worst port of the game that there is, the 360 one, which I guess you also played that one, right?
No, I played the PS3 version.
PS3, oh, okay. Well, it's
but
on
the console
this PC.
port.
Like, I could play the PC version, which everyone was saying, like, oh my god, this is the best version. So
and you have the Ultimate Edition, right?
I don't know. I didn't get it on Steam.
You should, because the Ultimate Edition is only like $7 right now. But either way, the Ultimate Edition has all the DLC in it, and that includes characters that you could put in your party that are good.
Okay.
I was actually talking to a friend about it, and I think what I like about Dragon Age is, you know how you make your barbarian or your paladin or your rogue or like whatever, right? Your thief or whatever you want to call them, your bard class in video games mostly, and then everything revolves around that.
Yeah.
What Dragon Age does is your character doesn't fucking matter. Like, you can make any race sort of thing like that they let you for whatever different class or whatever, and the only thing that will affect is how different people in the world will say stuff to you, like dialogue options, and the intro area for like your starting area. Mm-hmm. After that, when it gets to the main story beats and stuff, you have a party of 4 at all times, and you are controlling every single character. So your character, like if you picked a thief, you can still play the whole time as a mage, because you will have the option to have a mage with you at all times and use them more than everyone else.
You can take control. That's true.
Your character is just the catalyst for people to talk to. Like, he's just the guy that all these other characters are talking to, sort of thing.
And it's silent for Vegas, which is kind of weird.
In the world, so not important to anything. He's just another thief, another knight, another like mage sort of thing. Oh, okay. It really doesn't matter what class you build it as, because you will still have the other options with you, and you control all of them at the same time. Mm-hmm. So yeah, that's what I kind of like.
I mean, that is kind of like a high profile title. I just kind of didn't ever follow through on, despite liking Mass Effect a lot and stuff. And yeah,
that's fair. If you don't like the medieval RPG thing, it's kind of hard.
like, did you ever play, what the hell was that martial arts one they made called? It was like 2004,
that one made?
2003. It was a BioWare game, and I was like kind of keen on
Jade
it.
Empire?
Jade Empire, yeah. Like, I have that, but I've never really gone through it all.
Yeah,
Like,
it's good.
It's actually pretty decent, or
It's pretty good. I don't know if it holds up though.
yeah, I don't know.
So
It's just like all these kind of like, oh yeah, I love BioWare, and it's just like, I think what I mean by that is I really like Mass Effect, and I played KOTOR, like the first one. Like, those are the games that mattered to me that they made.
Yeah.
But I guess they have a lot of lineage and medieval fantasy stuff too, so maybe I should give that another try. It's just like, maybe I'll play a totally different class this time, because I think I did the exact same thing twice. You know, it was like, all right, I'll start this on this, and like I'm going to play a female human mage or something, and it was like, all right, the same thing, and then years went by, and I was like, all right, I'll try that again, and I did the exact same thing, and I was like, here I am doing it again. Whereas they're pretty distinctly different intros, right? So I should probably just
completely
to do something completely different, and then
actually it's completely different depending on like what side you choose too, because you can have, like, for the dwarves specifically, you can have like kind of the regular peasant or like one of royal lineage sort of thing. You know what I mean? And so every race essentially has two different opening stories.
Oh, okay.
Which is why there's an achievement to see all 6 or whatever.
Because they put a lot of effort into making
they're
those
completely different. Yeah.
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 Well, that could conceive. I don't know. Like, I'm kind of just, got a lot of games around. Like, I'm definitely not like, let's jump in on next generation. Like, it's just like, nah, whatever. I got so many games I've never played. I should probably do those. So,
like, right now you are in your nest, and you're like, no, I'm good. I don't have to go back out and find more twigs now.
Yeah, I filled it.
Like,
this is a thick nest full of games. I could probably literally build a nest out of video games, but they would crush all the boxes and it would be terrible. But
I can make a literal physical nest.
Well, I almost want to buy one of those like bowl chairs, those Papa Sand chairs or whatever, and just fill it with games and then take a picture of it. Just put game nest. And that'll be our website. Spin-off.
GameNest.com.
I don't know. Speaking of,
I have a feeling I should take that domain.
Yeah, Game Nest. Let's see if it exists. It's just like, who did this?
Sorry.
It's like, is this worth adding to your nest? That's our metric. Just like, no, it's not nest worthy. And then you
nest worthy.
This twig is dry and crackly. It's no good.
Okay, so when you go to Game Nest, it just goes to a suspended page.cgi.
Okay,
so
there's a Facebook
I guess there was
called
something.
Game Nest. Yeah, GN Game Nest. This is a thing that exists. But it looks like it's in Spanish. Gafas de realidad virtual para la PS4. There you go. Yeah, this is a Spanish game people. Game Nest.
So if I type Game Nest Facebook, I get Dragon Nest. Did you put Game Nest as one word?
Yeah.
Okay. Game Nest. Word. Okay, there is. You're right.
Yeah, so there you go. Friendly shout out to our Spanish friends at Game Nest. They already had this amazing idea. Great minds think alike. So
this is Peruvian.
Oh, Portuguese, maybe.
Yeah. Well, no, it says Peru right in here.
I didn't read it closely. I just was like, this is ending with A's. Shiru un
specifically
the vida
specifically Lima, Peru, I guess.
Really? Speaking of Lima, Peru,
it says right in the thing. Yeah,
there's a Paddington movie coming out.
Oh God,
dude, I don't know. Like, I don't think I'm happy about that. Okay, actually, double shot of that. It's like that and the Peanuts movie. Like, within a few weeks, those were kind of both like, hey, trailers for these things, and I'm like, this is like grade 2 and like grade 3.
You're just like, get out of my childhood now.
They're doing the thing. Like, they have caught up to things I care about a lot, and I'm starting to get just kind of really upset about it in this way. I'm just like, they're going to screw it up. Why is Snoopy jumping around so much? That's what's wrong with Peanuts. It's about Charlie Brown. He's a depressed kid, and it's sad. That's what this movie should be. He should go to a spelling bee and fail, and then go home and kick off his shoes and just kind of sit there glumly on his bed and then stay in bed until noon, until his friend Linus shows up and tries to give him a pep talk about life, and then it's over. Boy Named Charlie Brown is one of the greatest movies. I love that movie because it's so downbeat. He gets second place in the spelling bee and just loses and then gets on the bus and goes home. It's great. It's perspective enhancing because that's what actually happens. Most people are in the shadows.
Well, most. Sure. Yes, of course.
Yeah, and one of them is Charlie Brown. And you know what? He gets to go to France and stuff. And that's awesome. Dude,
Yeah.
Those movies are so, like, part of my, like, formative years that this movie is freaking me out. I hope it's good. I actually like the style they did, like, for 3D stuff. His kind of, the way his face animated was pretty good. But, I don't know, the goofy antics they focused on and the lazy 2001 A Space Odyssey intro thing. Like, did you watch that trailer? Am I just talking to myself?
No.
Okay.
Kind of, because I don't care about Charlie Brown at all.
Dude, Paddington Bear, Lima Peru, Marmalade.
Dude, I care less about Paddington than anything else in the world.
Dude, the one, like, there was, like, I read a bunch of those. They're all pretty trivial. Like, I honestly barely remember any of, like, the actual dilemmas that happen. I just remember I loved the term shopping expedition as, like, we're going to the mall today.
Wow.
Like, it's like, no, we're going on a shopping expedition. I was like, all right, that is now
It's such a British piece of garbage.
No, it's so good.
That fucking Paddington stuff.
We're going down to the market. We're going to the... Oh, yeah, there's a Postman Pat movie, too, which is another British animated... Well, I guess there was a Paddington animated show, too. No, I know. British cartoons
there was.
and animation is now coming back. Bigger than ever. I don't know. Yeah, the Paddington thing just kind of had me kind of nervous in that same way, because it's like, I remember reading a bunch of those in, like, grade 2. And they already made a Mr. Popper's Penguins. Like, that was another core thing. I didn't see that.
That was a big one for me, too. I didn't watch it, though.
Like,
yeah, it looked terrible.
Vanilla Ice dancing thing, I was just like, oh, I can't ever see this. Like, I just can't know what happens in this.
Ice Baby.
Yeah. Like, wasn't that a
All
bit
right, stop.
In Living
Collaborate and listen. Ice is back with... Okay, sorry.
Yep, that guy. It's like a cooking show or something, wasn't it? Vanilla Ice. Was it a cooking show? Do you remember?
No, it was like a home improvement show, and it was called Baby Got Backyard or something. Or was that Ice-T?
That's not... Whatever, I'm typing in Vanilla Ice reality show. I know it's real.
Oh, he's been on a few things, actually.
The Vanilla
He
Ice
was on,
project tackles home improvement.
Yep.
Okay, never mind. I was hoping...
Baby Got Backyard. Yep.
6.9 out of 10, according to IMDb voters. So, sure. Okay. 29 episodes. Started like 4 years ago. Anyway, yeah. Childhood stuff being turned into films. Speaking of films, Roger Ebert.
Oh, man, this again?
I finished the
Holy
book.
fuck.
I finished it.
Okay, so okay.
Yeah, I finished reading that memoir, and I don't know. I think it was kind of weird for me to just kind of see, like, a person's life I was following generally for, like, 20 years, maybe, of just kind of being aware of his reviews and 2 thumbs up and all that stuff. Like, since really young, it's like, oh, this dude's on TV talking about movies. I like movies. You know? Maybe not quite that long, but decade plus. And then just kind of seeing him summarize his own life and kind of make a highlight reel of, like, what he thought was important and stuff. It's just kind of like, oh, this is weird. This is kind of sad. Like, just like, oh, I knew this guy and he was really cool. Now he's dead. I knew this other guy. He was really cool and he's dead too. And I'm just like, wow, this is depressing. Like, I'm just getting depressed now. Thanks, Roger Ebert. And actually, the picture of him, he took a, like, selfie basically before his surgery where he lost the ability to speak and everything. It is, like, the most haunting photo I've seen in a long time. It's just, like, it's the single saddest image I saw all week. So, yeah, read this book. Great endorsement. I don't know. If you care about Roger Ebert, it's interesting to see him talk about, like, Gene Siskel and all this stuff and those years specifically. Like, there was a point where it was, like, every chapter was basically, like, this is when I met this filmmaker, this is when I met this actor, like, and this was kind of the first time I met this guy, and kind of, like, the summary of his interactions with Martin Scorsese over the course of his entire life. Or,
okay.
Werner Herzog or like Robert Mitchum and stuff. I was just like, okay, like there was a point where I was like, okay, this is now a page turner, and I'm like tearing through this whole thing. So yeah, the early stuff about like him talking about his favorite like burger shop and like high school reunions and stuff. It's just kind of like, okay, well, this is like background info. This is kind of downer and reminding me of stuff like I did and kind of not, just kind of like more thorough than I maybe was ready for. But then when it's just like, okay, here's stuff like I am personally really curious about, it's like, oh, awesome. And I guess the conclusion of that is I think I need to watch Ingmar Bergman movies. I think I missed out. So Ingmar Bergman, check him out. Hot new filmmaker. Fanny and Alexander. I don't know.
I'm sorry. I don't like doing this usually.
Yeah.
But fucking yawn, man. Holy shit.
What, dude?
Those movies? Really?
Have you watched any?
No, because they look like they would be boring. They look like they would have...
Actually...
Okay, go.
Maybe, like, generally that can happen. Okay, like, for example, this week I was like, hey, I have all these Criterion Collection movies. Let's go. Okay. Let's watch one. I'm going to choose one at random. Well, not really. I'm going to choose the one from the mid-90s with Vincent Cassel in it, because that's going to be exciting. Let's go. La Haine. Yeah. It is a movie from 1995. I was like, all right, let's go. Youths rebelling. This is going to be awesome. I fell asleep like twice in the first 45 minutes, and we have not watched the rest of it. So, yeah, art house movies can be the worst movies. Like, they can just be like, wow, this is so self-important and, like, badly put together and has no sense of pacing and just does not give a fuck if you're entertained. Because it's more important than that, man. This is about the kids in France. And I'm just like, I don't care. I don't care. I like Vincent Cassel. I'm glad he went on to do cool stuff later. But damn. So unless that movie has the most amazing conclusion ever, like, I'm kind of ready to write that one off. So yeah, Criterion Collection totally has a bunch of bulk, like a bunch of crap. But I own a lot of it, so I might as well see what's good and what isn't. Because I know some of it's good, like Spartacus. That's a good movie. I own that. It's just an entertaining movie. It's got gladiators in it. It's like Gladiator before Gladiator. So that's cool, right? RoboCop. That's Criterion. I don't own that one, but
Oh, you don't? That kind of sucks. I'd like to see it.
Yeah. It's on Netflix though, but it's not the Criterion special features and all that. But yeah, I don't know. Yeah. Like you're right. Like art house isn't a guarantee of quality in any means. Like it's like, no, like pretentious people who go to film festivals thought this was worth their time or whatever. But that doesn't mean much sometimes. So yeah, but Bergman, like the way he talked about what his actual movies are about and kind of, I've seen one episode of Scenes from a Marriage and I was actually kind of intrigued. Like it was actually like, oh, this is actually just adult drama. Like this is kind of cool. So I want to actually watch some of those, but okay, let's not go too much further. Art House Minute, those will happen, baby, eventually. I have a lot of movies that I haven't watched that I feel like weirdly obligated to watch as a film minor owning person. I should care more, right? Like, I should be invested in the media.
Nope. Nope.
The Vanishing. I should watch that.
Yeah, we should watch that together. We should stream it.
I don't know. Yeah, I guess, yeah. Might as well. See if Giannis films.
Highest stream on Hitbox, The Vanishing.
Yeah.
We'd be doing that guy a fucking favor, man.
Who?
We'd be doing him a favor.
The Hitbox guy?
Everyone. Yeah.
You're welcome,
We'd be doing
Hitbox.
Everyone a favor.
Yep.
And the viewers. Something I'd go to sleep with.
Yeah, sorry to bore you guys to sleep. I mean, I fell asleep watching a movie. I had to tell you guys that happened because
that has to not happen often.
No, like
for
it's well, actually, no. There's been a handful that I can remember. To Catch a Thief by Hitchcock. So boring. Fell asleep like, twice. It's a Cary Grant movie. It's about a thief. It is like boring as hell.
Do they catch him?
I don't remember. Like, there's costumes in it that are very colorful. Like, I honestly, it was just like, I do not care about anything that's going on. Okay, what's going on? Oh, the thievery is actually happening. Like, it was just like done. Like, I was just not into that movie. Old movies, not a guarantee of quality at all. Doesn't matter whose name's on it. Yeah, dude. But also Doctor Who episodes, that just periodically happens. Like, weirdly, that show specifically can just dial into a part of me that I'm just like, oh, no,
makes you sleepy.
Self-defense mechanism. Falling asleep. Losing
self-defense mechanism.
I don't know what it is. Like, sometimes it totally has me, and I'm like, oh, man, this is really interesting. But then, yeah, there was, like, it's not just one Doctor. Like, it was, like, a couple Matt Smith episodes, but also Tennant era stuff. Like, one of the Head of Bow ones early in that season, I fell asleep. And the Pompeii episode, I think I fell asleep. Which, yeah.
Okay.
I don't know. That episode's weird, because a lot of people would eventually inhabit different roles later in the series. Fun fact. Yeah, no, I've fallen asleep during stuff sometimes. And, yeah. In class, too. Stan Brakhage.
Oh, man. Yeah.
Stan Brakhage made, like, experimental films that one of them, honestly, I would just describe it as dude went out for, like, burgers with his family, but decided to kind of just turn on his 8mm camera and, like, film outside the window as they drove. And then that footage there and back, and then it ends with, like, a shadow in the yard or something. But I didn't get to the shadow in the yard, because this is a 40-minute thing, and I was just, like, sitting in a dark room with just, like, random colors just, like, cascading over the screen and stuff. I was just like, uh-oh. Gone. And then woke up as the lights came on in the class, so I don't know if anyone noticed. But it was just like, nope, done, gone. This is not a movie. And it's just, like, sleeping. Like, yeah. Like
especially when you're in college, when you're trying to steal sleep whenever you can.
Yeah, no, dude. Like, once you start feeling the head nods, like, where it's just like, whoa.
Yeah.
Like, that was not voluntary. Like, that was just, my head was falling. Like, I was done. That's when it starts getting kind of dicey. Like, I'm trying to, like, entertain my brain. Like, just think about anything to make this a narrative or make this engaging in any way. Like, think about, oh, hey, like, modern, you could just stick your iPhone out a train window and film the streets and make your own. And it's just like, no, I don't want to do that. That would be a waste of the world's time. But this dude was doing it in the 60s before it was cool. So, yeah, dude.
There you go. Anytime that happened in class, I would go to the washroom. Because, like standing up, moving around would get me, like, woken up a little bit.
Again. Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
I overall really like that class, that experimental film class. There were some great discoveries in there, like dudes that would, Jacques Cocteau, he's a French director. He actually made, like, really weird, surreal, strange movies, which reminded me of a really cool movie I saw this weekend that I want to talk about. And I forgot.
Okay.
It's called Enemy, and it stars Jake Gyllenhaal, and it is directed by the guy who did Prisoners last year. I don't know if the Hugh Jackman kind of serial killer mystery movie.
We talked about it here. Yep.
Yeah. Enemy, I was, like, totally mesmerized by it. It was just like, oh gosh, this is awesome. This is, like, reminding me of David Lynch and, like, David Cronenberg kind of simultaneously. And it just gets so weird. And it honestly reminded me of, like, recurring dreams I had as a kid about spiders. And, like, so there were moments where I was just, like, sitting in my movie seat, and then I just start kind of, like, going, like, because it's just, like, this is nightmare right now. This is, like, so vividly recreating horrifying things that I barely remember. It was messed up. I was, like, totally entranced by that. And, like, it's kind of one of those movies where they're, like, deliberately kind of weird. So, you get to kind of, like, think about, what was that even about after? Like, basically the trailer setup is, Professor Dude sees that a guy that looks exactly like him is kind of a bit actor in some movies. So he's just kind of like, whoa, I have, like, an exact double. Like, I have a doppelganger. So he kind of goes to kind of find this guy. And then that was actually a point in the movie where I was like, everything past this point where they meet, like, this could fall apart really quickly, like, if they don't have a good reason for doing this. Like, it'd just be like, oh, it's so weird. And you're just like, yeah, but what are you actually trying to say? But what I think they're actually trying to say, I was like, oh, no, that's interesting. Like, that's actually a cool, like, metaphor. It gave me some stuff to think about. I'm not, like, I really don't like taking movies that are deliberately kind of vague, super, like, trying to pin down exactly what's going on. I just like soaking in just the weird atmosphere and kind of, like, bouncing ideas around that are coming out of the movie. So I don't want to know what Denis Villeneuve, the director, actually wants it to be about. I just want to kind of have it as this weird kind of memory, like this weird kind of spooky thing that I can engage with. That's kind of what I really liked about Mulholland Drive, is it's just weird. And I like, it's like, I want some weird, let's turn this on. Like, this movie is kind of one of the more recent ones where it's like, oh, it's actually scratching that itch, and I don't get that. Like, that, I don't see movies that kind of do that successfully very often, so I was really, really happy that this was one of those. I didn't know what it was. I was just like, I liked Prisoners. Incendies was also really good. That's the same director from a few years ago. So I was really willing to go into this, and it was like, oh man, this is doing stuff that I don't get to see often, so awesome. But really strange. Like, it's like, I don't know if you want to call it like a horror movie, but like I said, some of the imagery was just like tapping really specific creepy nerves that I was like, wow, this is like the spookiest, actually unsettling thing. Like, it's not doing like a thing jumps out at you. It's more just like, we're going to show you something really weird right now. And you're just like, I don't like that. I don't like what you're showing me, but wow. And yeah. So Canadian movies, man, weird. That was an art house movie, I guess, that paid off. Like, that was like had my attention the entire time, and I was like totally stoked about it. So good stuff. Best movie I've seen of this year so far. Cool. I can't believe I almost forgot about it. Like, it's like I haven't forgotten about it. I guess I just forgot it was within that time period because I saw it like last weekend. But
right.
Yeah, no, that was a cool thing. I think it was last Friday, wasn't it? Saturday, maybe?
Saturday.
Yeah, so like 6 days ago. But
okay.
That was a
cool,
striking movie. And then I guess last night I watched a movie called Murder by Death, which
okay.
I've just been kind of like trying to think, like, is this movie like part of our current problem of just like super self-aware, postmodern, like kind of ironic kind of thing, or is it just a funny movie from the 70s? It's from the mid 70s, 1976, and it is basically a parody of like murder mystery cliches. It's it's like, did you see the Clue movie? Like, honestly, as I was watching it, I was like, oh, this is like the original The Clue movie. Like, this is what that movie was. Like, it's basically the same thing. It's like a bunch of detectives get letters that are like, hey, come out to this weird spooky mansion. So they all do. And they're then like Truman Capote, the author, which was weird. He plays like this kind of murder mystery enthusiast, criminologist kind of guy who's like, all right, I'm going to present all of the world's greatest detectives with a crazy murder mystery that they are unable to solve. And in one night, I'm going to like ruin all your reputations because I will become like the best criminal ever because none of you will be able to solve it. And then it's just kind of like, okay. So they kind of spend a good amount of time setting up all these characters, and then like half the movie, and then the rest of it's them kind of weird stuff happening and them figuring out what's going on with this weird guy and this murder. And yeah, it was honestly a lot like Clue. And then I guess kind of the weird turn in it is it's basically just kind of mocking cliches. Like, it's just kind of like, and the twist is twists are stupid. And it's just kind of like, okay, like, I mean, okay, like it's this playwright Neil Simon, and it's one of a bunch of stories he's done, I guess. Like, he's the guy who did Odd Couple, so he's been in the biz for a long time. Like, I was entertained the entire time because like it kind of had a bunch of actors. I was, Alec Guinness is in it, Peter Sellers, who I'm a big fan of, Maggie Smith, and like the youngest I've probably ever seen her because she's always been that old lady in like stuff. She's like, oh, McGonagall. Yeah. It's like, no, she had a career for like decades prior to this. It's just like, oh, weird. So, yeah. But, oh, man, Peter Sellers has, like, it was one of these things where I was just like, oh, man, this is a product of its time. Like, he is playing an Asian detective named Sidney Wang. But he's a British guy.
Okay.
So it is just, like, literally that racist, like, fried lice
amazing
kind of jokes, and it's just like honestly most of his dialogue is like him quoting fortune cookies, like kind of just like giving Confucius says style advice, and I was just like, wow, crap, this is so old. But yeah, I don't know, it's like 90 some minutes. It's on Netflix for at least the next couple weeks. I guess it leaves there pretty soon. Like, I would say I was like entertained in the same way I was entertained by Clue the whole time, but it seemed like maybe it was a little too proud of itself at the end. Like, it's just kind of like, look at us, we're like thwarting all these mystery cliches, and you're just like, you also kind of only work because you're built out of them. So I don't know if that's more clever or way less clever. Like, I don't know what to make of this. Like, it's like, in its own way, it is kind of like the scary movie of its day. It's just, it's distinguished British actors, so they kind of make it have a bit of class about it. It doesn't seem as crass and cheap, but it's still pretty dumb. Like, there's some dick jokes.
The British were always the biggest racist in the world.
Yeah.
Because they enslaved everyone. Like, they were the biggest racist. Hitler has nothing on Great Britain.
No, just colonization, all this stuff. Like, there's some kind of just weird. There's a really dated like gay joke too. Like Peter Falk, Columbo. He plays one of the And it's at one point, I think a line of dialogue is really just like, "Yeah, I got nothing against them queries," and it's just like, oh, that's weird. You shouldn't say that. Like, they're talking about like him being in drag at a gay bar and that being like his big secret, and it's just kind of like, this is also a little weird. This is dated material. But yeah, it's 38 years old, so it is dated material. But I guess it was pretty successful back then. And like, it's, I don't know, it kind of just moves. Like, it's 90 some minutes, and I was chuckling a couple times, and it was totally fine. It's just, yeah.
So really, it was pretty good then?
Yeah, I guess so. Like, in that very Clue vein. I guess this almost kicked off a trend where there was like a decade of a resurgence of mystery house movies. And I didn't know about most of them. Clue was included in that lineup of like, yeah, this movie exists because of this movie. And I was like, oh, okay, cool. That makes a lot of sense, because I'm basically seeing Clue again, and that's cool. I liked Clue. So, yeah. David Niven's also.
Clue was okay.
Yeah, Clue was okay.
Pretty good. Yeah.
Like, Michael McKean, Christopher Lloyd, Tim Curry, some fun faces in there.
Sure.
But yeah, so that was like the most recent piece of media I consumed. Also, TV shows. They're TV shows I've talked about,
Sopranos and True Detective.
True Detective's over. Top of the Lake, we finished that. Which, I guess the only... I don't, it ends with like a, pretty crazy revelation. I overall thought that show was worth my time. Like, I enjoyed it, but I'm also a fan of the lead actress, and it was just kind of subject matter I was into. It's like, hey, do you want to hang out in New Zealand and, weird crime? And I was like, okay, like, I'll do that. So I was up for it, but I'm not sure if it's for everybody. They have like a really great moment. Like, I'm not going to say exactly what happens, but there's a moment where somebody falls, and like my stomach dropped with them. It was like, oh no, that's the worst thing that could ever happen. Like, it was almost like that. This is like kind of the worst case scenario in a bunch of hikes I've been on and stuff. Like, what if you just started sliding down a loose rock hill?
Oh,
all the way off the cliff, and it's just like, it would probably look exactly like that, and it would end horribly. So yeah, there was a moment where I was just like, oh. So yeah, if you want to see horrible tragedy, Top of the Lake. I just dropped something. My phone.
Okay.
But yeah, it's okay. So yeah, Top of the Lake, highly recommended. Sopranos. People keep getting shot, and other people are like, "Oh man, who did this? I'm gonna shoot that guy." So, and yeah, actually, yeah, that basically explains the last two episodes in a nutshell. Dude got shot. Tony Soprano was like, "Oh, who shot this guy?" And then they caught that guy, gave him a Diet Coke, and then shot him 20 bullets. So, boom.
Okay, then.
Italians yelling. Also, like, school problems, like applying to university and stuff. I really like how they just kind of have normal stuff, kind of just
like real life issues.
Yeah, like just like, oh yeah, no, like applying to colleges is kind of crazy. Or like, yeah, that, sullen standard. I dropped this casserole dish is like, oh no, but also I have to go whack this guy, or like my buddy got shot. It's just like this extra layer of like crime on top of just normal stuff, where it's like, man, I'm not really stimulated creatively. I should take a screenwriting class. Is like this thing this dude did. I'm like, yeah. Also, my buddy got shot, and you're just like, all right, just that on top of everyday issues. Great mix of stuff. I don't know. I'm enjoying it still, but
quick right now.
What?
Italian mobster, go, impression.
Forget about it. He actually said that.
There you go, perfect.
He actually...
Yeah, forget about it.
Guy is just like, it's just a dream, forget about it. And I'm just like, James Gandolfini said forget about it. Oh, man. So yeah.
Confirmed, Nathan is Italian mobster.
Yeah,
there you go.
I also bought this movie, which has James Gandolfini in it, and it's a gangster thing that I really liked from...
Killing Them Softly.
Yeah, got on Blu-ray. Oh, hey, James Gandolfini is right there. Never forget.
Nice.
So, media of the week. Was there any other stuff you did? Movies, shows, anything?
Yes, I watched Free to Play.
Oh, dude, I just watched the trailer for that and went, oh, maybe I should watch that. Should I watch that?
Yeah, it's really fucking good. It is really good.
It's not just like, hey, this is an ad for Dota or something. Like, it actually has content. Like, it's...
No, if anything, it's an ad for some of the shitty things these professional Dota players have gone through in their personal lives and how Dota kind of helped them try to achieve their dreams, and some of them failed.
Wow, okay. Like, watching the trailer...
Because there can only be one winner, right?
I guess so. So, it was kind of like reminding me of the Smash Bros. Thing we watched, but focused on just kind of the scene in general of, like, competitive gaming. But, whereas that was laser focused on a game I actually like. Like, I'm a little more worried, like StarCraft and all that, or whatever.
You know Fistful of Quarters?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, King of Kong, specifically.
King Kong,
like, that's what I'm getting at. Yeah. You know the whole, like, story of Steve Wiebe? That they're, like... That's the main thread.
Yeah.
Think about that sort of thing, but with 3 of the top teams that had to face each other for the grand prize of $1.6 million at the International. That's what
so it is
it
Dota
follows around.
Specifically, right?
It is.
Okay.
Yeah. It's Dendi, Fear, and HYHY. That, like, for people that watch Dota, they know. I mean, everybody knows who fucking Dendi is. He's the guy.
Yeah.
Everybody that
like
knows Dota. He's what?
He's like.
Did you say Mewtwo King?
He's like the Mewtwo King of his game, you know, or like Ken.
He's probably better than that. He's like he's like, really good.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
There's like 10 players to focus on over the course of that, but whatever. Smash Bros. What was that even called? The Smash Brothers? Yeah, okay. It was on YouTube.
Yeah.
But okay, so top dudes. And I guess you're saying there's 3 stories, so you're saying, well, only one of these stories is going to be a happy ending, so you're going to get 2 sad endings, right? Because they're against each other?
They're all kind of a happy ending.
Okay.
Like, in a way, in their own way. But they all have, like, weird different trials and tribulations they had to go through, and how this whole, like, professional gaming thing that they were trying to go through has kind of, like, ruined their lives, sort of thing, because their parents or family are just saying, like, you should be going to school, this is kind of bullshit sort of thing, or like kicking them out of the house, or some of them are supporting it. Like, it goes through, like, all of that sort of stuff, and it's a very personal human story, and Dota is just the thing that they are doing in it, sort of thing.
Okay.
So it's one of these things that if you don't know anything about Dota, that's fine. If you, like, you're a human being, you can relate to probably some of these problems these people have had, because there's stories about little successes or, like, failure in your parents' eyes, or, like, loss, or that whole sort of thing, right? There's a lot of personal shit going on in here, and it just happens that the reason why it's focusing on these people is because they were the top tier teams in the first ever esports phenomenon that offered $1 million prize for the winner, sort of thing. It was the biggest esports event for video gaming, and it was like the turning point in which the whole world started being like, oh, esports is a thing. But then, like, not even really, because it goes into what it was like in China and stuff like that, and how esports is like, I can't remember how one person in the movie was putting it, but he's like, he gives an example of how big esports is in, like, China and apparently, or Korea, or one of the things. I think it was Korea. And it was like, for the Korean football team, when they were, like, playing, to get them, like, going, they would have the professional like StarCraft players come in and give them pep talks in the locker room because those were their heroes. The football players were idolizing the StarCraft players. Like that's how big it is in Asia, sort of thing, where they are bigger than movie stars over there.
It's so
and then like
weird to me that
now the international, what the international did is that like every country would have its like top tier team sort of thing in their competitions and their esports. The international brought everyone together, so you would have teams from Hong Kong and like Thailand and Korea and like Sweden and the Ukraine, like, and Canada, and you know what I mean? Like you would have all of them competing against each other. So it was the first global, like who's the best in the world. And this is, we're going to give you the biggest jackpot you've ever seen for professional video game playing. Like if you play this video game well, you're a millionaire. Like that's how big this thing was.
Yeah.
But
that's so
and
weird.
yeah, it's just very good. It's only an hour and 20 minutes.
Okay.
But
do you know
it
who
is
made
very
it? Like,
worth
who
your
were
watch.
the filmmakers?
Valve.
Oh, okay. Just Valve
Yeah.
in-house shot a bunch of video and like is a lot of them
Yeah,
talking?
it's
or
a
is it,
Valve
like,
film.
the events happening, like a lot of
more
tournament footage, like crowds cheering and stuff, or what?
all of it. Yeah.
Okay.
Not so much gameplay footage, like the big parts they would show because it would add the drama to it, sort of thing, right? To show you like how good these players actually are, sort of thing, to show the video game footage and whatnot. But yeah, I don't know. I mean, as a Dota player, I absolutely loved a lot of it because I know who these players are. I've seen these games that they're talking about. I know the outcome of the ending, and yet it was still all about the journey, watching it. Yeah, just watching all of it kind of go through like their eyes, the three different people from different countries and stuff like that. And then just as a person who likes documentaries, I thought it was very well shot and very good. It touched a lot of the same, like it scratched a lot of the same itches that Indie Game the movie did for like indie games. That's what this did. So I was really happy to do that.
And it's free just for Steam people, right? Like just go check it out. HD.
Yeah, and it's on YouTube.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, they put it up on YouTube in full HD, but if you get the Steam version, you have the deleted scenes and shit like that. And you get Steam achievements, I get, for watching it, if
Really?
that matters to you at all. They put Steam achievements in there for watching the, like, the deleted scenes and the special features and shit like that.
Okay. Huh.
Yeah. So I watched that.
It does sound interesting. Like I'm not as invested in that game specifically, but I wasn't super invested in the Smash Brothers community. It's just that was at least a game I know how it plays, so it was weird to see people taking it really seriously. Of just like, oh, this guy's like the best Peach player in the world. Like that sentence is funny to me. But you know, if it's like he's got Skull King or whatever, so I don't know what this is. But you're saying
you know what isn't funny though?
A lot. Right.
It isn't funny when you're just like, that's the most ridiculous sentence in the world, but he made more in one match than I will ever make in my life.
Yeah.
It's kind of gross.
I guess, speaking of strange internet revenue, I was actually really struck by that furry story that went up on our site, like, yesterday.
Yeah. I wanted to get to that. Yeah.
That was a neat saga to see unfold of just like, oh, weird, like, you know, star of this big subculture that's getting really creepy and invasive and just, I don't know, like the twists and turns. It was a fun read. So, I don't know, check that out on Pixel Response.
I think one of the things I really liked about it too is that that's something that I think you could drag out, but she was very concise with the stuff she knew that people would probably want to hear about. Okay. Like, I'm sure there's more experiences in there that were just kind of like, whatever. But I like that it's a very, like, short read, kind of, because you just keep going. There's, like, new information keep coming along.
Yeah, and it covers years, but in a very,
it does, like, which is good.
Interesting story. No, I was very impressed by it. I was like, oh, wow.
And it was written it was written in a way that when you're reading it, it's like she's talking to you, like she's telling you the story, right? It's very like conversational how it's written, and I really
and
enjoyed
like
it.
internet conversation. Yeah. So like I'm a is used a couple times, and like I do say that sometimes. Like I'm a go over here.
I use yeah.
So
yeah. So big thanks to Tessa. That's Hello Pander on pretty much everything, I guess. Mm-hmm. Like specifically Twitter. I think she likes people.
Although the old DeviantArt
username,
there. No one's allowed to know that because it'll ruin everything. Like they'll.
I've actually
back.
seen. She's actually privately linked me her gallery on Fur Affinity, and I've seen some of the shit she's drawn, and ooh, some of those commissions.
Yeah, it sounds.
And no, I won't. I'm not gonna give that out. So
no, I know. But like, it seems like that's the thing. Like it's like almost like, man, we should just link this story on Reddit. I'm not sure where we'd put it or whatever, but it's like, but wait, if like this gets too big, then the furries will start sniffing around. And Brittany was saying, like, dude, if 4chan finds out about this, they're gonna figure it out, and it'll be the worst thing you've ever seen. Like,
sniffing around.
Yeah, they're gonna figure it out. Sorry, I didn't mean to make that like a yiffing thing, but yeah, that's.
I think okay. I have to say another thing here.
Yeah,
I think one of my favorite things that happened is how she was talking. She like relayed that one story about the guy that's like, you didn't draw this dog cock properly or whatever, something weird and creepy that furries do. And the first thing after reading it that Marshmallow says on Twitter is like, so did you ever learn how to draw dog's cock? Dog cock properly?
Like that was the thread I was confused about. Like, did that work out? Or... Yeah.
I was just like, when I read that, I was just like, yep.
That's our Marshmallow.
Yeah, pretty. Like, kind of. I don't know. I thought it was a pretty great article, though. And anybody that wants to go see it, you definitely should. It's probably going to be on the front page for a while. I've made it so the front page of the site now, like underneath the slider, will show everything under editorials, like in the main area there. So the actual things tagged as editorial will stay on the front page until they're very out of date. To the point where the last one on there now, I think, is your 2012 Game of the Year list. That's how few editorials we've had this year.
Man, that's so here. Year in review. Nathan's top 10 video games of 2012. It's been a busy year over here. We put up a lot of podcasts. That's our primary thing.
We do, and that's fine.
I guess I thought I was seeing something weird. This is my Metal Slug 4 and 5 review.
Okay, that's another thing I want to bring up.
Yeah.
That is another thing I want to bring up. So last week, I think it was last week, maybe it was 2 weeks ago now, we were talking about Nintendogs. I believe Marshmallow asked what were some of like the like games that you can't miss or whatever, blah blah blah, and I randomly said Nintendogs, and you're like, no, that game's garbage, blah blah blah, and I said, no, you liked it because I thought you did, and you're like, no, I actually have a review where I rip it apart.
From like
so this got me thinking.
Yeah,
I looked up your old profile because you didn't go by Krasnor back then, so it's gonna be kind of hard for people to see all that stuff you were doing on GameSpot years ago.
Yeah.
So I released the Metal Slug 4 and 5 review, and I have 6 more in the hopper ready to go.
Yeah, some of those I'm actually like, no, I'm still proud of that. I actually like that one. You know, like it was like years later, I was like, I got like a like on my Call of Cthulhu one, and I was like, this is so weird. Like, who cares? Yeah. But somebody somewhere was like, man, that was helpful.
And let me tell you, I was debating because you did way more blog posts on that site than you did reviews.
Yeah.
I was debating if I could look back at any of those blog posts and repost them, but they all seem pretty like very time specific in that era. So
I remember
maybe
one
not really.
was kind of me being like, here's some movies I watched, and just like Eraserhead and like Dog Day Afternoon and whatever. Like there was
the one I was looking at is where you're just like, this is heresy. How could you fire Jeff Gersman? Blah blah.
I'm canceling my subscription forthwith.
That was like the first line. It's like, well, I'm canceling my subscription. I can't believe they would like fold under such pressure, blah blah blah. But yeah,
Yeah, I was outraged. I remember going into work and being like, "Ah, Jeff Gerstmann is like, what is he talking about?" Video game thing. It's just like, no, dude, GameSpot.
8 to 7 year old reviews.
Yep,
coming out soon.
Finally, 2014, getting the attention they deserve. I don't know.
And hell, you know what? I'm just going to be completely transparent about it. It's an easy, cheap way to provide content that people might not be able to see easier on their own.
I've been kind of getting, like thinking like I could have written a review about Enemy or something, but I don't know. Like, I guess I don't read reviews anymore, so I don't expect people would read mine either. So I just I do have to like I'll talk to you like we're not on air, I guess. Okay.
People have been asking me about like written form stuff for a bit now because they're saying that they like it because like say they're on their lunch break or whatever, they can bust out their phone, tablet, or even on their work computer. They can read a bit, put it away if they're working, then read a bit more. It's not there's no like I have to have headphones in or I have to be loading a video and watching it sort of thing and listening. It's very much on their own time. They get to just like kind of scroll through something and read. So there's still some love for that form of content.
Oh, okay.
And it actually showed with that Confessions of an Ex-Furry Artist that I guess I'll just call her Tessa. I was going to say Pandora, but her name's Tessa that she gave us. That is our highest hit count in like the last 2 weeks.
Oh, okay. So that stuff's of interest. So, okay.
For sure.
I mean, like, there's things I could be writing up stuff about. I just kind of don't think to a lot of the time. It's just like, well, I said all that. So, people know. And it's just like, well, not, like, it would be kind of nice to have, like, just like, here's a growing collection of stuff I've reviewed, as opposed to just more and more episodes going up or whatever. But I don't know.
And quite honestly, when you're applying for stuff like E3 and stuff, they look for that stuff too.
I know.
They're just like, so like, what have you put out? And you're just like, oh, this podcast we do every week. And they're like, okay, what else? It's like, you don't have to do anything to do a podcast.
Yeah. Like hours and hours of podcasts too. So many.
Yeah. But yeah. So, I mean, spoiler alert, the next review from 2006 or whatever is Psychonauts. So people will get to hear what your opinion of Psychonauts was back then. And then, yeah. But, that's all for me this week. I didn't really do a whole lot. I played a lot of DayZ. So that's what I did. You didn't do anything else either?
No, that was my entire list of stuff, so I think that's it.
I like that you actually did a list like 5 minutes before, and you even forgot one of your movies.
I know, Enemy's not on here. I'm going to add it. No, whatever, doesn't matter now. I already said it.
You reviewed some weird things.
What do you mean? Lahane.
It's just like
first 45 minutes makes you sleep. Oh, yeah.
Like Nintendogs. Cold Winter.
No one played Cold Winter. It was a PS2 exclusive shooter. It's,
yeah. Pocket Bike Racer. So, yeah. Anyways, those are coming out.
That was the best Burger King game.
Those are coming out, so look forward to that. Otherwise, you ready to go on to voicemails?
Yep.
I think it's about time. Here we go. First voicemail.
Hey Paul, hey Nate, quick, you've been turned into Gilgamesh from Final Fantasy V, and for some unexplainable reason, you have the desire to fight with a sword in your mouth. You need 9 swords to achieve your highest level of badassery. Why the sword in the mouth? Well, I assure you it has nothing to do with my inability to narrow shit down. So you need 9 swords, what do you pick? For me, it has to be the Monado from Xenoblade Chronicles, which enables me to predict the future. A red lightsaber, because I'm a Sith, bitches. Also, I want to make lots of love, and everyone knows those Jedi are all virgins. Back to the list. Ragnar from Fire Emblem Path of Rains, because that shit has the same rage as a magic weapon, and it's unbreakable. Frog's upgrade Masamune, we all saw what Frog's normal Masamune did. It cut a fucking mountain, and this is almost 3 times better. Excalibur from Soul Eater, assuming I could get him to shut the hell up. Inuyasha's Tetsaya, cause that shit is beast. The Master Sword, which needs little explanation. He-Man's fucking Power Sword and Lionel's Sword of Omens. Honorable mentions include Roronoa Zoro's 3 swords, Hawkeye Mihawk's Black Sword from One Piece, Kenshin and Mura Sakabato Brachydio swords from Monster Hunter because they explode, the 7 swords of the Swordsman of the Mist from Naruto, Erdrick's sword, Rin Okamura's sword from Blue Exorcist, a bunch of fucking Zanpakuto, Claymore, Ryu Hayabusa's Dragon Sword, Dante's Rebellion, the Cypher from Strider, Sword of Mana, Zenithium Sword, Falchion, Ultima Weapon, Blade of Olympus, and I'll see you at the stream.
Whoa. This is like a massive
Was there a
list of
question in there?
swords. I think it was what
Was there a
swords would
question
you
in
use
there?
if you were Gilgamesh. And I'm looking at Gilgamesh, he has a lot of arms and thus a lot of weapons. So there was a lot of like Matsumune, I know that one, you know, like swords. Lightsabers also. I don't think
okay, so let's just say like what our favorite sword is?
I guess
Let's just go with that. Like, what would we use,
think he
right?
wants us to come up with 8 swords we would use?
Wait, 9 swords? You know what?
Know.
Everything he... Okay, no,
Excalibur?
everything he said...
You can't
Okay,
do that.
you know what? I don't think I
Excalibur,
even know 9 swords.
Sting,
Honestly, I don't think I do.
Glamdring,
No. You
Command
cannot use
sword.
Sting. Sting is not a sword, it is an elven knife. The
Dude,
only reason it's considered a
This
sword
dude,
is because
Gilgamesh
hobbits
has,
are
like,
tiny.
A sword. He's got like a Wolverine glove and like a mace, so it's all cool. You know,
So it's all
I think
cool?
blade weapons. Okay. Of any kind. might
Okay,
be fair
I mean,
game. So
I
weird
guess a
gauntlets.
lightsaber has to be one.
Nah.
Right?
I mean, I guess. Now I'm trying to think. What
Like,
in KOTOR
It's
were those
9
pre-
swords, dude. Why
Okay.
are we...
Sure. All right. Fine. You're right. I'll accept it.
Why are we getting
Uh,
picky right now? Can you
I'm gonna
name
go with
9
Beam
swords by name?
Katana. You know, Travis Touchdown's Beam Katana is also in there, so another beam sword.
One of my favorite swords, actually, has always been in Scott Pilgrim versus the World.
Yeah.
Like, I guess in the game, also in the movie, and in the book, I think, too, the, like, weird pixely lightsaber sword
The pixel sword.
that Gideon has.
Okay.
So, like, whatever you would want to call that. Definitely that.
Scott Pilgrim pixel sword shows up, so Gideon's pixel katana. There. Done. There's an official wikia about that, so that is one of the swords.
Okay.
How many swords are we at? 5? We need 4 more swords.
Oh, dude, like 3. How are we at 5?
What? No, we got Beam Katana, Lightsaber, Excalibur, Glamdring. I'm counting Sting, and now you're saying
Okay.
Pixel Sword. So now we need 3 more.
Okay.
We're pooling our sword
Oh.
resources. We're both
Okay,
Gilgamesh
okay,
in this.
okay.
Yeah, we don't need 18
Okay.
swords. Because I cannot
Uh,
name that many swords. The Buster Sword.
No, please, no, don't.
No
don't,
Buster Sword. Okay,
Don't.
Buster Sword's cut.
Frostmourne.
Frostmourne. What's that?
Hell yeah.
What
Look
is
it
that?
up, bitch.
Okay. No, I'm looking up Conan's sword. I want to know what it's called. I want that sword. Cult of Athena sword. Gonna go with that. Sword number 7.
Okay, so we need one more.
Okay, sword number 8.
We need one more.
Does a gun blade count from Final Fantasy 8? It's got a blade.
Oh! Soul Calibur.
Oh, all the Soul Calibur swords? So the Nightmare? Like the actual
No,
Soul Calibur
the
one?
Soul... Yeah.
The Soul Calibur.
The Soul...
It's evil, the Soul Edge, but
The Soul
whatever.
Edge.
We'll take it. And I'm gonna, Master Sword, also from Zelda. That's my 10th sword if I need a replacement sword. But man, wow, Mr. Marshmallow knows more swords than I know. So popcultureswords.com. It's a fostering website. Dude, okay. Fast paced. You could hear like pages flipping, like those multiple pages of swords that needed to be read. That was crazy.
See, I like to think that he doesn't actually have a list in front of him. What
Yeah.
he has is, like, it'll say a sword name, and then it'll be every iteration of media that sword has been in underneath it, and then a long paragraph to 2-paragraph description of every dimension of that sword. So that's why he was flipping pages so fast, because every page is actually 1 to maybe 2 weapons. So he had to get through them quickly, right?
Oh, dude, Hattori Hanzo sword from Kill Bill. You could throw that in there too. Like another katana. So there's another
Hattori
pop culture
Hanzo.
sword. That's one I got.
Okay.
Yeah. I don't know. Now I'm just like trying to think of swords.
Like, do we even want to say like Masamune, or is that kind of weird?
I think he did.
With
didn't he?
Sephiroth's sword. Yeah, like, can we not name his? If we can't name his, we're fucked.
Like, if we can't also have ones from the same list, like, we're out of swords.
Yeah.
Did you ever fight Gilgamesh? Do you know what he's even getting at? Like the giant dude, he's got a lot of arms or something.
Yeah, I can't even remember.
I had to Google that
so
to know
probably
what was
not.
even going on. He also had axes and stuff, so crazy. But okay.
Oh, do axes count? Not that that fucking helps, but do they count?
They do. So you could have Gimli,
Okay.
battle axes, and all that stuff too. Just, you know, if you know more Tolkien swords, you could get all of them.
And my axe.
Yeah, that axe, the broken axe, you could have it. Doesn't matter. You got like 7 or 8 more, so it's cool. All right, sword question solved. Next question.
Okay.
I'll try to keep up this time.
Next voicemail.
More attentive. Okay.
Here we go.
Hey Paul, hey Nate. I'm not going off the script right now, so prepare for some fuck-ups. Okay. I've been thinking about sending in a voicemail where I talk like Arnold Schwarzenegger. Of course, during that recording, all I'd be able to do is quote various movies he was in. For example,
all you have to do.
Hasta la vista, baby. Or Get to the chopper. Or Come with me if you want to live. Oh god, that sounded Indian. Oh god. And, you are terminated. And, my question is, what games do you play that you constantly find yourself coming back to? You think you're gonna be done playing it.
Hold on.
What did you do? You paused?
Yeah, I just paused it. We'll get back to it.
Indian.
That did sound Indian. I was thinking it, and then he said it. He was
okay.
like, "Go with me if you want to live." So I was like,
that'd be a pretty different movie. I don't know if there's a Bollywood musical take on that, but yeah.
"Oh my god." Okay, I'm sorry. Let's continue.
Okay.
Get out of it, but then it just drags you right back in. I'm currently playing Monster Hunter because, you know, it's my thing. And I thought I was going to be done playing it, but here I am, playing it again. I don't know how and I don't know why, but I am playing it. Right now I'm gathering some honey to get some mega potions, but that's besides the point. Anyway, I'll see you at the stream.
World of Warcraft.
I suppose I was thinking about Twins quotes. I was trying to come up with some hot quotes from that movie. Remember? I remember he has a shirt at one point. It's like "Born to be Bad" or something. Yeah. But okay. World of Warcraft. Yes. That I don't know if this, like, I mean, you know, I played like 4 dozen hours of Spelunky or something, so that had me in for a while. But now I'm kind of done. Or like Animal Crossing, I would play that a lot, and then that would kind of recur. Kind of later iterations of the franchise and stuff. So I don't know if this exactly happens. Like, when I get into a game, like, I get way into that game. Like, I'll spend 50 hours in a really short amount of time, or like 100 hours. Like almost.
But it
all
doesn't
my Skyrim
consistently.
time.
It doesn't bring you back in, because once you're in, you play all of it, and then you're
once
done.
I'm out, I'm pretty much out, unless I'm like, I want to go back. I want to actually do that again. So. Yeah, it doesn't quite happen the same way where I'm just like, man, I can't stop. I just can't stop going back. Like, the closest I came recently probably was Spelunky, where I was like, I was playing that in spite of other games, even though I was kind of curious about them. Like, I was just like, I don't know, I keep going back to Spelunky. It's just immediate, you know? Like, I just jump in and I'm doing stuff. It's awesome. And that was really had me going for a while.
Okay.
So yeah, that's probably the closest I've come in the last while. So yeah. But yeah, like, I mean, Miasmata did that, but then I beat Miasmata. Like, it was like 22 hours of just like, oh, I gotta get back, I gotta keep playing it, and then I finished it. Like, okay, done. So.
Also, I just want to make a quick comment about how that, for that voicemail not being off a script, it wasn't as manic and crazy. So
Yeah,
I don't
it's
think
not
you
as
need
like
a script.
dense, 90 seconds of just like
If you-
swords. Of just,
okay.
oh, God, I can't even keep up. It's just
But like,
okay.
if you want dense, of course you probably need to make a list, sort of thing, right?
Mhm.
I'm just saying that it's kind of nice to just hear him be like conversationally, "Hey, like, get to the chopper."
Yeah, get
Or
to the
something,
chopper.
or come with me if you want to live,
Yeah,
as he put it.
exactly. Arnold Schwarzenegger.
But yeah,
I still need to see Escape Plan. I need to remind myself of this.
it's actually really good.
It sounded
in that
totally
stupid,
fine. Yeah, I was like,
in that stupid way you're kind of expecting.
Yeah.
But see you at the party, Richter. That's another one.
Yep, he does.
Okay. Anyways, next voicemail. Here we go.
Hey Paul, hey Nate, it's that time again, that time when I ramble about shit that has nothing to do with my actual question. So last night, 3 a.m. my time, a bunch of Gundam people got together for a press conference of sorts where they discussed the future and some of the history of the Gundam franchise, because this year is Gundam's 35-year anniversary.
Oh, okay.
They talked about 3 things in particular: the upcoming Gundam Unicorn Episode 7 Over the Rainbow, which looks pretty sweet, but best of all, we got to see footage of the 2 new Gundam animations in the works, Gundam Reconquista in G and Mobile Suit Gundam The Origin. So this Gundam G whatever takes place sometime after the Universal Century, so that will probably be pretty interesting. It's not the first Gundam show to take place after the UC timeline, the other 2 that I know of being Turn A and X. The other one, which has me far more excited, is Gundam The Origin, which will be a sort of retelling of the original Gundam. Finally, we'll get to see more Char Aznable. Full Frontal is good, but he's no Char Aznable. In fact, he's just a copy. There are going to be movies, though, and I've heard there will be 4 of them, so get hype. Build Fires this week was pretty damn sweet. In it, we were introduced to both a new Wing Gundam Fenice and Crossbone Gundam Mao. This week was sort of a fan service episode, because so many characters of the other Gundam shows made cameos in the form of cosplayers. Some of the cameos even went right over my head. Even Char Aznable made a cameo where he quoted one of his lines from the original Gundam. My question is, what is your favorite voicemail of mine so far? I'll see you at the stream.
Oh, okay. So he just wanted to get an opportunity to discuss a whole bunch of Gundam. Okay,
Just get
that's
that
fine.
out there, let people know. I didn't know it was 35-year anniversary. That is 1979. That is an important year for a bunch of reasons. So yeah.
Yep.
Yep.
As for favorite voicemail,
Yep.
I'm kind of partial to the 2 that he sang in. Myself, I'm gonna say those.
These ones are just now, most recent.
No, I think he just meant overall. The 2 he sang in. The Barry Manilow one and the Pokemon theme.
Oh, okay. I like the Batman one was surprising to me.
Yeah, that was. Yeah.
Trying to think what's
What a weird meta question. Where it's just like
asking about
we're reviewing the voicemail.
voicemail
Like,
about
what?
voicemails, man. It's crazy.
Man. Voiceception. Right here.
Oh, what was that? The only song ones was those 2, the Barry Manilow and the I didn't know about Barry Manilow, so I guess I'll go with the Pokemon one as like a musical question. But I'm trying to think if there was. I thought there was actually one that was just like, oh wow, it's actually just a question. We kind of riffed on it for a while.
Oh, you're going that route. Okay.
I think it was like the first week where there was a bunch in a row where they all ended with "See you at the stream." I just kind of enjoyed that was the catchphrase or whatever. It's just like, okay,
It still is.
I'll see you at the stream. Which, it sounds kind of
Actually, you know what?
Pleasant in a way.
What Necro's saying in the chat right now, the message where Marsh is like, gonna go fuck up some little noobs or something.
Yeah. What was the one where
the one where he's like,
quote?
Newbies are gonna get fucked.
Oh, yeah. That's the one.
Zombies, motherfucker!
That's the one.
when he was talking about Monster Hunter 4.
Ah, okay.
He was specifically saying, Monster Hunter 4, blah, 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 stuff I didn't understand, but kind of sounded cool, and then...
Newbies are gonna get fucked.
Was that the same one where I was getting chastised for recommending 3, which I didn't do?
Yes, I think it was, yes.
Yeah. Okay. I'll go with Batman and that I don't know, that first batch where that trend was created of the stream seeing us there. I think it was just the first week that happened where there was 3 in a row. But yeah,
Newbies are gonna get fucked.
Also,
They
newbies
sure are.
Yep. Monster Hunter, don't, it's too late. You should have gotten into it already, I guess. I don't know. That sounds scary. But
It does, right? Daunting.
It's it's just like, I don't know if I should get into this then, because people are going to beat me up. It's like, you
Especially
don't know.
when they add,
Zombies, motherfucker!
you don't know what you're getting into.
I didn't know there were zombies in that
Okay.
game, so that is weird. Okay.
Next voicemail. Here we go.
Hello, Paul. Hello, Nathan. Let me start this off by rambling about Hitbox. Now, my problem with Hitbox is that it's usually bad when you're watching on Safari or web-based mobile thing for a tablet.
Okay.
Reason number 1. The stream keeps freezing. So whenever Nathan's telling a fun story about what movie he saw or what video game he's played,
Stories.
it freezes.
Oh.
Reason number 2. Whenever Nathan rambles about some video game he's playing, sometimes the stream repeats itself. So Nathan could be saying, but then it repeats like 3 times in a row. And then it freezes
Sounds
again.
great and terrible.
And reason number 3. The stream randomly cuts out. So I could be listening to Paul talking about how much he hates football. And then the stream will cut
You
out.
hate football?
And
Sure.
that's my reasons for rambling about Hitbox.
Okay.
Now, I'm sure Paul is probably tired of hearing this, but these are my reasons, just in case he didn't know. So I'm not really ranting for no reason at all. But my question is, hey guys, have you ever dealt with stream issues on anything else besides Hitbox or Twitch TV? And Nathan, have you played Pokemon yet?
I love how that was thrown in there. That was pretty good.
I still haven't played Pokemon. I'm eternally sorry about that.
Streaming issues for the Giant Bomb, like Giant Bomb when they moved and they started doing streaming stuff, like when they were no longer Whiskey Media and they moved to CBSI and Snyder had to rebuild everything.
Yeah.
Their streaming video or whatever they were using was fucking terrible. It was
Really?
absolutely god awful.
Oh,
It would
okay.
cut out all the fucking time. And I think it was server load issues.
Honestly, I'm just in a Skype call right now, so I don't really know what's happening on the Hitbox stream, like if it's hitchy or whatever.
Sure.
Like, I'm seeing the video
Sure.
of it, and it looks smooth from here, but it's muted, so, yeah. I'm trying to think if there's, honestly, I think if it was, every year when I go to E3, in years past, I'm not able to get into the press conferences, but I still want to know what's going on. So it's those are times where I'm on shitty hotel internet trying to watch the PS3 conference, and I'm I want to watch this, but then if it screws up or something, I'm just no. Or I was in McDonald's watching the Nintendo one on McDonald's Wi-Fi. So these are my problems.
I don't feel like that's the question though, because that's still watching Twitch or Hitbox or whatever.
Well, that
So
was through Twitch,
she said
but it's-
besides Twitch or Hitbox, other sites you've had issues with.
old. Okay.
I don't like YouTube streaming at all. I hate watching streams on YouTube.
I haven't tuned in.
I can't stand it.
We just do them there. So thanks to everybody who shows
Right.
up. For
But the reason why you do them there is because it's easy. Streaming,
easy on this
if
end,
you're a
yeah.
streamer, it's fine. It's totally fine. But
Just
watching
watching
it, I always have problems somehow for whatever reason.
Okay.
So I don't know why. I hate the comment system, the chat system or whatever, where it just leaves comments on the video after. But why can't Google just get things right? They did so well for a long time, and then when Google Plus came out, and they're no, we have to integrate this into this other thing that's perfectly fine. They ruined everything. But that's a Google issue. Watching streams on the Xbox, the 360, has always been a chore. I hated doing that.
Mm-hmm.
If they would have a conference or something through their own video streamer thing, I always hated doing that too. But that's probably it for me. I can't even think of other streaming sites, honestly. Ustream is kind of garbage in a lot of ways, but
I think I used to watch
I don't know.
Deadmau5 make music there. That was kind of years ago. He'd just be smoking and making mixes. Back when I was invested in that. He still does streams, I'm sure, but yeah.
Sure.
I don't know. Like I on the spot, I would watch that. That was like a weekly GameSpot show like 9 years ago. And every now and then there was some issues, but I was kind of under the impression that was probably on my end most of the time because we didn't have amazing internet. So it's kind of the years before amazing internet was even a thing, and they were kind of doing streaming video, so it was kind of crazy at the time.
A long time ago. Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, not anything super crazy recently, other than like me streaming out. I still hate that I streamed out Far Cry and had no audio, but that's my problem, and I can't believe that happened.
You had it
Guys,
muted.
if you would have heard, that would have been one of the greatest things I've done, but it's never going to be known. So yeah.
So
Stupid
I
thing.
think this leads to me saying something here.
Okay.
Hitbox. I've been kind of looking at going back to Twitch.
Really?
Because it seems like I seem to be getting a lot of like comments and stuff, like in the chat and stuff like that, where the video will just die out and then they have to like push reload 2 or 3 times or like whatnot. And I don't know why it's doing that, but like if it's actually becoming a thing where it's hindering interaction with people watching, it's kind of not worth it. You know what I mean? Because like, why else are we streaming? Honestly, if not for the interaction portion.
Well, that sweet ego boost of seeing us on the front page, you know.
Sure. All right.
I'm just seeing. I don't know. 4, 5, 6. We're in row 7 right now. Like there's us. Look at that. We're right between Friday night MMO.
It's Friday night
and going for that sub button, Hype City.
Yeah.
And we're a few ahead of like Sega Racing.
But then, like, the thing is, I think whenever something changes, you look fondly on how it was before, when it might not be that way. Because I remember having a lot of issues with Twitch. I remember people saying Twitch would be, like, lagging up or losing video as well.
Yeah.
So, like, I don't know. The things that Hitbox needs to do right now, they need to get more stable, like, servers for everything they're doing, sort of thing, because they are starting to grow a little bit, and they're already falling into Twitch syndrome, where when, like, the Friday or Saturday night sort of thing, when people are streaming, people will have issues with some video, like some people will have issues and whatnot. I think you also have to remember they're in beta sort of thing. They're still working shit out. But that has to be done. There has to be an app that works properly. Like, that is just basic, right? Because who doesn't want to watch streams when they're watching on their tablet, in their bed, or on their couch, or whatever, or on their phone, if they have good, like, plans for data on the bus or whatnot. It's just something they need to do. And I do believe they will get to a point where these conversations will no longer happen and these problems won't happen. I know for a fact we're not there yet. And it's just a matter of, if people are no longer willing to put up with it, I might just have to change and go back to like the Kingpin sort of thing, right?
Yeah.
I don't necessarily want to, but if it's for the interactive, the delay is terrible. Like, I think
really like how quick
people might even forget that.
Yeah.
Also, such a small thing. I like seeing the stupid pictures and GIFs people are putting in,
and the video
and all that
of
stuff
Godzilla
in the
getting
chat.
hit by a toy or whatever. Like, it's like, yeah,
I like all of that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, I don't know what to tell you, right?
Pluses
I
and
understand.
minuses. Yeah.
I understand the frustration, but at the same time, if it's not one frustration here, it's a different frustration in another part. And I truly feel that this is the lesser of two evils, and I apologize if you're the one person that always gets fucked by it, because it seems like everybody does a little bit, but they're able to fix it. But she is consistently the one that is being, like, thwarted sort of thing, right? Because she's using a very specific... She's using a very specific setup, because usually when people are watching a stream, they'll watch on an app, if it's like Twitch or whatever, if they're mobile, or they're going to watch from their laptop or home computer or whatever, and then it's fine, because then Hitbox just does what it does. But since she's in that niche market of the person that wants to watch it and chat at the same time on like a tablet, and there's no app out yet, she's kind of fucked.
Yeah.
And I mean, it sucks. But like,
what do you know when the beta phase of Hitbox is going to be done?
I have no fucking idea.
Okay. Yeah. Can you contact like their managers or anything? Just be like, hey guys, problems. You know,
I could try.
Big deal. Front page every week.
Fuck. I bet they get those emails. That's the sad thing. I bet they get assholes that think they're hot shit because they have 10 followers.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
23 followers. It's almost 2 dozen.
Yep.
Sorry. Just, yeah. That's a number.
Yeah, it is. But, I do apologize. I mean, I apologize in behalf of Hitbox because, yeah, it sucks. But at the same time, it's like I'm potentially losing a follower that is usually there watching us, sort of thing, right? Like, I don't want that either. But like, what can we do? What can I do? Don't worry about it. There you go.
Forget about it. Yeah.
Forget about it. Forget about it. Anyways, I don't know. We'll see if we can fix anything, but we've harped too long on this. Next voicemail.
Okay.
Hey, Paul. Hey, Nathan. Last Saturday was pretty fun because I got to watch Toonami with Marshmallow. And, my God, that Soul Eater, that ending was just really bad.
Oh, I know.
Can it beat the ending for SAO when it finished with the second season? Nope. Nope. Although I have to say it's like second to that. But anyways, recent movie news, Incredibles 2, Cars 3.
Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And something that highlighted something for me is that new Peanuts movie.
Yeah.
It's like Charlie Brown and Snoopy in Fancy Pants 3D environments.
Mm-hmm.
And for the most part, Charlie Brown and Snoopy sound pretty much the same. I mean, maybe some of the other voices will be changed a little bit, but I hope nothing will be changed too much from the original. I mean, it's already been confirmed that they won't change anything. But I do think that some of the voices may be changed a little bit. But anyways, Krasnor, do you have an opinion on it? Oh wait, let me guess. It's a remake, so I'm not really looking forward to it, is going to be his answer.
A little more nuanced, maybe, but it's not, they've recast
a little more nuance. You pretentious piece of shit.
I mean, I'm
a little
pretty
more
educated.
That's kind of exactly what you were basically saying. Where they're good
on Charlie Brown one time, and you know, like
if you did a lecture on anything, I would be there front row videotaping it because you know that shit is going on YouTube instantly.
Dude, it was pretty much university show and tell, and I talked about Peanuts and how important it was. But yeah, it wasn't really a lecture. Sorry, I just mean they've recast him a lot over the years because like they would often cast kids as the roles, and they'd grow up, and it's like it's the 70s now. We need someone else. It's the 80s now.
They're just like. What's something Charlie Brown says? Just a line. What's something he says now?
Good grief. He would say that all the time.
So he's just like, good grief.
Good grief, you guys. Hey, I'm a 47-year-old man. Yeah.
Hey, guys, I'm Charlie Brown. Good grief.
It's like,
don't you move that football.
Yeah, I was trying to think, what does he even say? During those like, oh, that darn kite-eating tree, you know, that kind of stuff. But
I remember he used to always go like or something when he was angry or frustrated.
Yeah, he would yell sometimes.
So now he's just like a primal, like
Actually, yeah, no, I really feel like Louis is almost like Charlie Brown grown up or something. Sometimes, like it's kind of hitting that for me of just like. You know, now he's kind of bald and 40-something and just kind of bummed out and divorced and all this. And just like, yep, that's Charlie Brown in the future. So that's kind of what I'm enjoying about that. But I don't know. Like, I mean, I just don't want them to overemphasize, like, oh man, Snoopy's so silly. Look at how goofy all this stuff Snoopy's doing. Like, I kind of, if they can come up with like a cool story of like Charlie Brown just having to deal with stuff and learning some life lessons or whatever, like that's fine. I mean, I think it's the people who did Horton Hears a Who, isn't it?
Okay.
Okay. Blue Sky.
Okay.
Might be bad, I guess, now, but I wasn't angry at that movie.
That sounded like Hank Hill more than Louis.
Just 40-some-year-old guy. He's not balding. Hank Hill's got his, head of hair.
Darn it, Lucy. Dang it, Lucy.
Yeah.
Stop moving that goddamn ball. I don't know.
Yeah. There are seasons and seasons of that show I haven't seen.
I'm so sorry. I hate that show. I can't stand most of it. There's every now and then I saw an episode or two that I legitimately love, but I hate so many of the characters so passionately that every time they're on screen, I get physically, like visibly upset.
Like,
I
what's
get
the character?
angry.
Who's your
Like Peggy. I want her dead. I want whoever does the voice acting dead. I want the person who draws her to get their fucking hand cut off.
Jeez,
I hate her.
Wow, Peggy Hill, not welcome around here.
That's a button, man.
That's too bad.
That's a button, and they pushed it.
Okay.
Sorry.
Wow. What? I don't know. Like, I'm kind of, I'm starting to warm up about Godzilla. Like, I'm hoping that turns out. So, like, these things that pull from my childhood and then come out, like, I'll check them out. I'm just,
You like Tintin.
I did like Tintin, so it can work out. I'm just apprehensive all the time. I'm like, I don't trust filmmakers, man. They might ruin it. They could ruin it. Or maybe I'm also just like, why aren't I in a position where I'm directing the Peanuts movie? Why didn't that happen? They should have come to me. Anyway. I've demonstrated no talents along those lines, but I'm for real. I'm the real deal. #1 fan. So.
Good grief, Nathan Rohr. Good grief.
Good grief. I guess it's just, hey, it's an opportunity to recommend A Boy Named Charlie Brown, which is my favorite Charlie Brown movie. Again, it's just so weird. It's so 60s, too. There's just moments where it's just like, and in this part, there's music and weird colors, and, like, it's just, like, kind of trippy. So, colors.
Meowth is asking if she did a good impression of you in that voicemail.
An impression?
Where you're just,
like,
where you would be like, it's a remake, or...
No, it's a remake.
I'll do my impression of you. Do you want to hear my impression of you?
Yes, okay.
Okay, you have to play the part of me in that, or anybody. Just ask me what I think about something.
Like,
this is me as Nathan Rohr. Here we go. Let me get in character.
Okay. Hey, did you ever see that Ghostbusters cartoon? How do you feel about that?
I mean, I guess. I don't know. Or... It's all right. It's pretty good. Sorry.
I do that, I guess, where it's just like, I am sort of feeling okay about this, so I have to go up an octave or people won't know what that means.
Just a little bit, yeah. I think it's important, though, because if you're monotone all the time like this, people tend to not listen anymore when you're talking a lot. Whereas if you fluctuate, it adds a little more emphasis when you... Why am I walking? Why am I doing a walk-in accent now? When you emphasis, no. Anyways.
Yeah, if you stop sometimes and start again, it starts to sound like that. But yeah.
Right. Okay, next voicemail. Last voicemail.
Yeah, okay.
Sometimes you gotta go with another voicemail. Sorry, here we go.
In response to Marshmallow's request for me to watch Gundam, I had to answer by saying, I'm busy watching Fairy Tail right now. Leave me alone. On to the questions. So I've downloaded some games. I'm sure Paul's been keeping track. I have downloaded Weapon Shop de Omase.
Okay.
It's quite fun. It has a lot of great writing. I can also make weapons, and that's pretty fun to do.
Yeah.
It's basically like you're the shopkeeper guy that gives the heroes the weapons. So say you're like playing an RPG and you go to a weapon shop to buy weapons. You're basically playing that guy that is giving the weapons to the hero. So that is basically Weapon Shop de Omase. And I have to say, it's pretty entertaining. Especially once you beat the ending. I mean, at first it's sad, but then after you beat the ending 5 times, it gets more hilarious. And it's like, oh, thank you for turning that into a hilarious moment. But that's the games I've been playing.
Cool.
What games do you think I should play next? Because I'm kind of in a slump on what game I should play. I mean, I already downloaded that One Piece game, so I'll get to that, but I don't know what else to play. I mean, there's so much options, but I'm kind of overwhelmed. Plus, I'm watching Fairy Tail and other various shows. Oh, overwhelmed.
You should play
Yeah.
Yaiba Ninja Gaiden Z.
Are you sure? I thought it was getting panned right now.
I don't know. You know what? I want to play it so bad. I really need to play that game.
Okay.
I hear the writing is the most god-awful, disgusting, atrocious, sorry excuse for writing ever in a video game. And
like
I
worse
have...
than House of the Dead 2? Like, what do you mean?
Just the way they, like, talk about females and, like, I don't know. Okay. Find a game that you can think of right now to recommend. I'll try to find some classic quotes people were giving me from this game.
Okay.
They're somewhere in here.
Love Trousers is pretty good. It's a nice background game. If you want to play Persona 3, it's available on PSN for like $10. It's not bad. I know you don't like the book games for some reason, but that Zero Escape, I'm going to say it again, obligatory mention at this point. Those are really cool. And if you like the anime, it's like that. It's like sci-fi anime, but you're controlling the story. Like, it's really cool. So, I mean, you can avoid it for as long as you want, but it's a really cool game. You're kind of missing out. Man, like, are there any like sweet bargains out there on the internet streets right now? Like, I know Humble Bundle's got some rhythm games this week, which I was kind of like, I like rhythm games. But
I know she likes to play her DS a lot, though. What about DS games?
DS games, man, Animal Crossing. People like that Bravely Default, but actually no. People like Bravely Default up to a point, and then they hate it. So I guess that's a bad sign. Maybe don't do that. But yeah, we kind of delved into that on Pix Response. It was kind of weird. It's like 60% through that game, I guess it just becomes repetitive and terrible, which is too bad. Man, DS stuff, huh? I heard Pushmo is cool, but I've been curious about that.
Pushmo is pretty good.
Yeah.
It's a puzzle game, though. So, like, if you don't like puzzle games, I don't know if you do.
Yeah.
But I would recommend that. It's pretty good. P-Cross is great if you like puzzle games.
Mm-hmm. Luminous is great if you like those kind of puzzle games, but it's not on 3DS, so... Is there, like, cool download shop stuff? I
haven't seen the shop for a while now, though.
Actually, wait. There was a game I was just thinking about in relation to all this all this Robot Talk Gundam stuff. There's those Robot Tyson games. Oh, sorry. Already beat Bravely Default. All right. I apologize. Robot Tyson? Have you know that series? Have you heard of those? It's like
No.
Okay.
Nope.
I think they're on GBA though, but I'm trying to think if there's been a more recent one. I want to say it's called Ultimate Robot Tyson. I'm gonna look it up. Images for Ultimate Robot Tyson, Super Robot Tyson Z2. All right, they're whatever.
Okay.
Like, I know she likes Fire Emblem and stuff, and this is kind of strategy RPG, but with crazy robots. And it's like the thing that was keeping it from coming out here for a long time was them getting all the licenses for all the different robots in it, because they're from all sorts of different shows and whatever over there. But they eventually did come here in the GBA era. I don't know how recent that series gets, but that might be of interest. I don't know. There hasn't been a recent one, apparently. That's unfortunate. But, hey, GBA, if you could find a GBA, like, they should put that in the store or something, at the very least, downloadable stuff.
Yeah, exactly.
Bangai-O, get that game. It's got robots and explosions, and it's made by Treasure.
There you go.
Just throwing out recommendations. Again, treasure games. There are good treasure games out there, but they're also GBA ports usually. But Astro Boy and Mega Factory is good. We talked about that last week, though. Anyway, do you have any stuff?
Okay.
Do you have something?
I can. Yeah. Okay. So I'll read this part first, and then I'll read what's actually in the game. Supposed light relief comes from your exchanges with Miss Monday, Yaiba's liaison with the mysterious corporation that resurrected him after a fatal tussle with Hayabusa. He pointlessly directs a stream of lazily misogynistic patter at the screen corner redhead whose bra pokes out over her shirt, a black tie disappearing down her cleavage. It says much that this is merely the least of this game's litany problems. Now there's like it looks like a level sort of thing. Like when you enter a level, there's like text about it or whatever. I'll read that to you, okay?
Okay.
Naked City 4 is like the thing or place or whatever. It can't get much better than this. Females are stacked 6 asses high. The booze is flowing all over me. I drank so much that I almost puked. Everybody packed in here after their shit at the refinery, and it's shift at the refinery.
I was like, what?
And it's been a madhouse.
Okay.
Every single person in this place is getting fucked, and I'm next in line. This is awesome. Paid a week's wage to a hooker named Griselda after she promised to beat the shit out of me. I'll give you all you got if you give me the rough stuff, I said. made me get on my knees and beg for mercy. Sexy little bitch.
Wow, that's terrible. Okay.
That is a picture of the screen somebody took with a camera sort of thing. So I am going to go ahead and I will post the actual image link in the chat.
I just remember playing it at E3 and being kind of just like, oh, this is kind of lame. But, jeez, that's 6 asses high. What? Naked City 4? Okay. So you're recommending this game? Hey, get into that. Yaiba. It's awesome. The game...
Dude, I want to play... I need to see more writing if this is, like, just one of the random things that somebody pulled from it.
Sure,
like,
I guess.
I'll give you...
Wow, this sounds unpleasant.
What made me laugh is that I was doing the voice or whatever for his thought process, but when he was talking, I didn't know it was him talking in that thing in the text. So I did a higher voice because I thought it was the hooker. So it's just like, he has this higher voice than how he monologues in his own mind.
Oh, like,
because it was just like,
if you give me the rough stuff.
Yeah, and then I just realized I said, yeah.
Weird. This is strange revelation to me. I just thought it would be, a bad hack and slashy kind of thing.
Let me reiterate a couple of these lines.
Mm-hmm.
Like, the booze is flowing all over me. I drank so much I almost puked. Yeah. Everybody packed in here after their shift at the refinery, and it's been a madhouse. Every single person in this place is getting fucked with all capital letters, and I'm next in line. This is awesome. What is this? Is this like the weird evil brother of Macklemore? They're like, this is fucking awesome. Like, what the hell is going on? Why is there a Ninja Gaiden game where the main character is referring to people as sugar tits and killing zombies and basically getting into weird gangbangs at this fucking refinery or whatever? Like, what the fuck were they thinking? Not only that, it's just written terribly. It's just terribly written. That's it. Like, if you ignore all the weird
post Itagaki Team Ninja, and it seems like they've gotten even crazier sexist since that dude left. But yeah,
what are they doing? Why?
I don't know.
See, it's one thing to be a little bit weird, where it's just like, oh, this video game is nothing but a volleyball game and tits, but now it's just like, no, we're all getting fucked and crunk and yeah. Like, what is going on?
I don't know.
Apparently they refer to the women in the game as sugar tits. That's just like his nickname for them. Amazing. Like, this is a Ninja Gaiden game, people. A Ninja Gaiden game.
Ninja Gaiden
Holy
Z.
shit.
All right. Sorry. I guess back to games that may actually be of interest and quality. I don't know.
No, dude,
Dude.
one of us has to get this, and we have to review it somehow,
Is it
like on the podcast or do a.
Is it on?
It's not on Steam, so I'll use Pixel Response money and buy it, and I will lend it to you after I'm done playing it.
Dude, it is on Steam, but it's $60.
Done. Buying it right now.
Are you serious? I thought this was like a budget title. This sounds
No,
terrible.
it is. See, this is a gross thing. It isn't a budget title. It is a full-fledged
what
product.
I played at E3, I was just like, well, this is some shitty downloadable thing, and I just like walked away. Like I was just like, you're basically pressing A like to just automatically go to the next place. Like it seemed very confined, like just beat 'em up, but bad. But okay, it's got kind of weird hyperactive colors.
See, and I feel weird because when I saw pictures of it, I was like, fuck yeah, Ninja Gaiden with Borderlands graphics, animation sort of thing. Fuck yeah,
colors.
sign me up. But now it's just like, everyone's getting fucked, and I'm next in line. This is awesome.
I guess one of the tags on Steam is edgy. So, hey, that's that writing right there. Right. Sorry, just
Everybody recommends it. What the fuck? Okay, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. Anyways, continue.
Super Robot Tyson...
okay.
OG Saga Endless Frontier was translated here and was released on the original DS. So that is a North American entry in the series that you could check out if you're interested in what I was saying. It's the Xenosaga people made this. So, I don't know. If you like Fire Emblem and robots, I am told this is kind of okay. I am not an expert in that genre, though. I'm trying to, cater this to Meowth, and it sounds like we're just playing, kind of different games a lot of the time. So, yeah, you should buy old Zelda games and play those on the DS. Maybe like the strategy RPG. Maybe. Or Shin Megami. I like those. But, yeah.
Actually, yeah, Shin Megami games. Very good. And yes, Devil Survivor from Mr. Marshmallow. That's another one you should maybe look into. That's probably a $10 title now, right? That's been out for a long time.
Which one?
I'm asking you because you were a GameStop employee, basically, so...
Of Devil Survivor?
Devil Survivor.
That was quite a few years ago, yeah.
You were still working there when that came out, probably, right?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. That's probably a $10 thing.
You never know that, because Pokemon Gold, that was like $40 when I was there, and now it's $120.
Yeah, but it's Pokemon. All
that
Nintendo
makes no
products.
sense to me. There's so many more copies of it. That
Nintendo.
is the opposite.
Nintendo.
Shin Megami Tensei, Devil Survivor.
Oh, wait, Shin Megami Tensei 4 came out just 2 years ago or last year or something. Look into that.
Golden?
I hear good things about it.
That's on Vita. But Devil Survivor's $20. Anyway, okay. Is there any more, or is that it? Is that the last question?
Actually, you know what? That is it. So if people wanted to send something and blah, 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 this is how you do it in the crackliest way possible. Here we go.
Got a question or comment for the show? You can email us at podcast@pixelresponse.com or leave a voicemail using the voicemail feature on the right side of the main page. On Twitter, you can reach Nathan at Krasnor and Paul at Exposure. Be sure to check us out on Facebook at facebook.com/thepixelresponse and visit pixelresponse.com for more.
Well, it was a nice try. She almost made it, but that last little bit, it cut out a little bit, so there you go. Anyways, thank you to everybody that sends in voicemails. We truly appreciate it. It always stirs up some weird and interesting conversation we weren't expecting, and more importantly, it gets you as the listener involved. Community. That's what we're trying to do.
That show's back too. I watched another episode. Forgot to talk about it. Doesn't matter now. Let's move on.
Doesn't matter now.
Yeah. That dude from Breaking Bad's in it. What?
Last week we did the Pokemon tournament. We talked about it last week because it was Friday, but yeah, Last Second Hero, Pokemon Master of the Pixel Response Pokemon Classic version 2.0. Congratulations.
Whoa.
Yeah, it was a good battle, actually. We got some new people that weren't there last time, and everyone showed their Pokemon skills, and I realized how little I know about that fucking game. So it's a very good thing Hero is always willing to jump into a Skype call with me and talk with me through the battles and stuff like that, because that dude knows the meta game for Pokemon like I know Resident Evil. It's fucking disgusting. But yeah, I don't know. What about you? Any closing thoughts?
No, I'm just like, you're so much closer up in the camera, so I'm like, hey, I'm gonna match you now. So there you go. Hey, Paul.
But now you're even closer.
Video thoughts close up. Yeah, closer, just like that Tegan Sarah song, our unofficial Calgary theme song. Oh, quirky cat pillow.
There you go. Thank you, everybody, again. We'll see you next time.